It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy got to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. You got to sit our guys after and make the play.
Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmidt,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sid says, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
5:02. Oh my God, it's early. Welcome in Drew Olson, Bill Schmidt, Dave Gasper in for Armin Sarian, who's still in the desert, will join us at some point. We have not sent out a search party yet. We think he's coming back. We'll find out together on Monday. But first, so much to unpack on a Friday in the good land. Badgers going on to the championship game at the Frozen Four in Vegas. I wonder if Armin found his way in.
Well, on Wisconsin to the championship game, and it didn't look like he did. He looked like he found his way into the free event outside, where I was getting a couple of different pictures, and we were able to see some digital assets yesterday. But Drew, right away when I saw he posted the big picture of the rotunda outside of T-Mobile Arena and the energy at the party, I'm like, sweet, you sending us some post-game sound? Oh, I lost I missed the credential pickup line. However, he was enjoying as much as maybe the 99-cent shrimp cocktail and the $2.49 hot dog that you can get at Casino Royale. He was really enjoying the people watching and the misery watching of the Fighting Hawk fans walking out of that building, kind of dejected and stunned. It looked like they were ready for a full weekend, and instead they might be heading back to Grand Forks a little bit sad and earlier than they anticipated, because the second game was phenomenal as well in the Frozen Four, but the Badgers took hold of that thing early and then were able to hold on just long enough to be able to move on. That was an awesome game yesterday.
If you had to answer the call of nature at a certain juncture of the first period, you missed the entirety of Wisconsin's offense in the game, right?
Yeah, you apparently
in, 17, 20 seconds of game time, I think.
Yeah, Drew, I didn't think they were going to beat 2 goals in 34 seconds to be able to tie the game and make it into overtime to reach the Frozen Four. Instead, they did it in that first period. They rushed like 18 shots to 2 or 18 shots to 4 in that first period. They were all over North Dakota. And then, credit UND, they brought it back and at least got it within 1. But there's a full almost 2-minute 5-on-3 penalty kill that the Badgers had right there where Dexheimer got, I don't know how my man went back out and skated. Drew, if I would have taken that puck off of the ankle, I would have been in Dr. Bong's office tomorrow. And I would have been potentially in tears for a good 15 minutes. Instead, like 20 minutes later, is back out on the ice playing the third period. That was an incredible defensive effort for them to be able to hold on to that.
It was a great game time for us.
The best kind of game time. Yes.
Face off. We had a Brewer free evening last night. Brewers sitting on that loss. At least I had a nice day in the good land to reacclimate.
To enjoy a good one, no doubt about it.
Rest and recharge as they get ready to face the Nationals tonight. This will be their first National League game, right?
And it'll also be the first chance that we get to see against the Nationals, Brandon Woodruff again at home, and the first chance that we get to see the Bobber jerseys and the new Sunset unis live and in action. As they're playing them, wearing them all 3 days.
Wow. Yeah, that was
a logo that somewhat looks like the Washington National W, which is an interesting.
The big news yesterday was the Brewers City Connect reveal, which is actually a State Connect.
Mm-hmm.
And the leak was true a couple weeks ago. Wisco, that is indeed the jersey. Got to say, it looks better when you pull back and see the whole thing than it did in that little picture of the jersey leak. But I'm still not a fan, but nobody is really. It just has to grow on you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see Brandon Woodruff striking out 9 nationals in it to really like it.
Yeah.
Right. Or Bryce Durang turning on a changeup later on tonight to really see how I enjoy it. But there's little pieces of it. The barrel man is sweet. The like parts of the jersey look kind of cool. I'm still struggling to get over Wisco. However,
no one says Wisco.
I'm just wondering what Wisconsin Lutheran High School paid or is getting in some NIL kickback, because they are getting the greatest advertising commercial you possibly could have.
The only institution where that phrase is uttered. Wisco, Wisconsin Lutheran High School and University.
Well, and I didn't know because Drew, I appreciated because they're right. It's the State Connect. And I did see a number of different people around the state really digging it and feeling like maybe they did get attached to it. So I hope they did. But that was the universal part. They're like, oh, sweet. The color scheme's great. This logo's awesome. I actually like how the color behind the lettering goes from a blue to a nice yellow. It really does reflect looking at the sun going in off the lake. Still don't know a single soul that calls it Wisco, even if you're hammered drunk off old fashions at a supper club in Montello. Nobody is calling it Wisco, but Fanatics thought they did. And I think that's my favorite part of it. And then seeing the other 7 teams that released City Connects, Drew, it's one of those deals where you don't always want to measure how much you like your house by how much you think it's better than other people's houses. But the Brewers City Connect could be a lot worse. It could be the Baltimore ones that actually look like shrubs.
Be more.
It's built off of the bricks and the shrubs that you sit near from the stoop to the yard.
Yeah.
Was their slogan. So it could be a lot worse, I think.
Of the 8 unveiled yesterday, the Brewers were not in the bottom 4.
No. And I thought the San Diego ones were probably my favorite out of all of them. But again, it's one of those things that we've been able to see so many teams get Fanatics, and we thought it was Nike. It's definitely Fanatics, but it could be a lot worse. Again, we could be the Royals, which looks like a strange complement of like old the Camel cigarettes meeting a Rolls Royce logo, which is a strange look, to be honest.
The Be More, the Orioles looks almost like a Miami Hurricanes.
Dude, it's a really, really awkward look. Now, I did appreciate it's kind of more of a throwback for the Braves than anything. The Cincinnati, they're really still trying to make that 3D strange looking C work. It doesn't work.
And the red on red, where are you with the Badgers when they wear the red pants? I think it looks more classic when they wear the
the red and white is much better. The red on red gives it's got to be a night game feel, but
Rutgers vibe or something, you know, like that's what crappy teams do. The Rangers just went with Tejas, and the Rangers just stole the Reds jersey.
Yes. Horrendous. Rangers is the worst one of the group. It reminds me of Division III baseball.
Well, so a lot of these do.
That's true.
The Braves are the winners. Pirates is like, man, they've done variations of that. That's nothing nothing great. Royals is kind of classy.
Yeah, it's an interesting side of it. I like what the Pirates looks a little bit droopy, a little bit fun. And I think the San Diego one's cool, just bringing back some of the older colors to it. But yeah, it's they took a swing. They took a big swing, and sometimes you hit a single. And I think they hit a single. However, I was in the team store yesterday, Drew. You couldn't tell me that it was a single in there. I mean, people were
loving it.
People were loving it. People were buying all the gear. Saw some old friends in there. Saw a lot of people getting every single thing imaginable. They did have a sweet Barrel Man sweatshirt that seemed to be bought out of most of the sizes. So people were getting in there. People will be supporting it with the City Connect tonight. However, I just can't get over the W. Where you're going to play the whole series against the Nationals, and it might be the Nationals W there on the logo.
That Nationals Walgreens W is going to be everywhere because of people. And it's in this era when anybody can be a graphic designer.
True.
With AI, just tell it what you want and it spits it out for you, and you can get something kind of reasonable, whether be it a logo or, for your family softball, picnic or anything you want.
Anything you possibly can dream
of. They come up with that. It's like, what?
That would be the time that you just say, hey, University of Wisconsin, we'd love to be able to honor that big old motion W. What if we throw that one on top of the logo?
The Wisco thing, I don't know, man. Like, No one, like we said, no one calls it Wisco. What do we call it? I call it Cheeseville to my friends who don't live here. Yeah, I got to go back to Cheeseville. Here's the state of Wisconsin. How about what if it had said Forward, which is the state motto?
I would have liked
Madison.
that.
There's the Mingos there who do a great job with their running their operation.
I appreciated that they explained why Forward was in the backing of it, but I think that's
our
a more
state motto.
One.
That'd be kind of cool, right? That would be.
The barrel leaves down the sleeve was a cool accent that I guess that we didn't necessarily get to see right away, but they did a good job with the Barrel Man logo. That should be pretty prominent. The bobber shirt that they had, because they transitioned the little grill logo to a fishing lure, a fishing bobber. That's a hitter. Like that's the one that if indeed they're going to throw gear all around Minocqua and Rhinelander and Woodruff, Wisconsin, and obviously Eagle River, because they dropped it in there from the Milwaukee River to Eagle River. That's the one I got a feeling is going to do some significant numbers.
Put that on a hat. And just watch it do insane numbers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Even the the light blue Flex Fit hat, which I saw a lot of people buying again yesterday, it has the Wisco one right there. If that in that font had Brewers with the color scheme, I think it would do numbers. I'm not a merchandising guy, but we just play ones on radio. And a lot of our suggestions, at least the NicolaLaw.com talking text line, these are the ones, Drew, that I don't know if you're seeing the same thing. I think we're getting agreed with a lot more on our jersey beliefs and takes than we ever do with our sports takes.
No doubt. And you can share your takes with us. 877-794-1973, NicolaLaw.com talking text line. Brewers posted a tweet, and the first reply I saw was from our pal Bob Brainerd, the blonde bomber.
Oh, there we go. Come on, Bobby.
Wisconsin High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Famer.
You're damn right.
He said, I want to know who sits in a meeting, announces these are great, and signs off on them without any input from players or fans. Or does Nike just draw them up on a cocktail napkin and shove them down the team's throat, take it or leave it? Oh, and Wisco isn't uttered by anyone.
By anyone. I'm telling you, the best way that they sell these, when do the Hornets play? All the teams play on Sunday. Hornets got to be playing before Sunday. Con Knipple needs to walk in with one of these. And then immediately it makes some sense. Hey, we're actually honoring right now maybe our greatest export. Potential rookie of the year in the NBA, Con Knipple. That's why we put Wisco on the front, because he might be one of the only 10,000 people, because he graduated from Wisconsin Lutheran High School, that calls it Wisco. I've been trying, Drew, after you said it to Cheeseville, what if there is a shorthand way that I say Wisconsin to friends or out-of-staters?
I always thought Scotty was invented by people from Illinois who went to Madison.
So they could shorthand say it and celebrate.
And
that's fair.
Wisconsinite. They call them Scotty. That seemed to me to come from the outside. I guess you don't refer to yourself that often.
I just call it home.
Yeah, that's true. Milwaukee home, Wisconsin.
I like that one, Dave.
Yeah.
We could have put home on the front, and I think it would have sold a ton.
Yeah.
Talk about being the States team, or you're always home when you're in with us and you're watching Brewers baseball in the state of Wisconsin. Maybe Wisconsin, but they would have had to use. Yeah. They would have had to get T-Pain to sign off.
Get the accent, Wisconsin.
That would have been a fun one.
Just a mansion silhouette in the background.
And more than anything, I would have liked to hear Mark Richards introduce the Brewers and try to throw
Wisconsin.
a little T-Pain into it. Maybe they have Mark do it and then play it through a T-Pain edit on AI. That would be something that you'd be able to play with. But we're going to see him in action, and we're going to see just how many people, because our friend Man of the Mill right away waking up with us on the chat said, those marks are buying all of that stuff. Well, we're going to see how many there were, because I assume if you bought it, you bought it so you can wear it this weekend.
That's right.
And support the squad.
I was stunned at how popular the light blue Brew Crew previous City Connects were. It was like those took fire, and it was an absolute merchandising home run for the Brewers.
Yeah, and I love that one.
See this one. People like this, so it'll take off, I think. And it's weird that they just did the powder blue jersey top and incorporated that into their mix, which we talked about, which doesn't look as good with the gray pants. They should have done powder blue pants as well. But no, now with sales of that, cool, while people buy the shiny new Wisco stuff, people like to buy new gear.
People like the new gear. I think the powder blue will do maybe bigger numbers if there are more of them. I love the jersey. I'm with you on the blue pants. It would just be way too easy of a layup. The one that I don't see a lot of people rocking is the pinstripe. the white pinstripe since the change has been made. I love the Brew Crew. I had a couple of people online being like, you have no eyes if you liked the Brew Crew one. That might be the worst logo that they've ever come up with. I thought it was sweet. I thought it made a lot of sense. And you're right. It was a merchandising home run. So I am interested to get the full feedback from the Brewers and how much people are doing it, because people also like to support the squad. People like supporting the team. Eric in a dump truck. Bad take. Baltimore was a good city connect. Texas was the worst.
What do you like about Baltimore?
Yeah, we can agree with the Texas is the worst. I can't get on board with the ones on Baltimore being good. However, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, it's totally subjective.
It's all subjective, and that's where you're hitting that. There's going to be a lot of people that say, "This is my favorite Brewers jersey I ever had."
This will be the new look moving forward for all baseball and softball teams from Wisconsin Lutheran High School.
Yeah, it has to be. You got to be.
You still
in another 3 years,
Excuse
when
me,
they,
do you guys have
when
any
they-
extras?
Yeah, in another 3 years when they cycle through and get new City Connects, the Brewers can just donate these to Wisconsin Lutheran.
You're getting all the blanks, and guess what? You guys can actually we're going to do something really special for you. We're going to put your names on the back of them.
Yeah,
we got all these
you
letters that we got to get rid of.
Yeah, here you go. Take
from
them.
the personalizing station.
We have this conversation, and I'm wearing a jacket with the Bucks alternate logo, colorways, and stuff like that. The Lake Michigan blue that they incorporated.
And I like that they called it Lake Michigan blue. I think it should be Lake Wisconsin blue, but they should call it Lake Wisconsin, or it should be Lake Milwaukee. I saw that petition going around yesterday. But Drew, right there, they have
of Milwaukee.
Right, we can figure out how we steal that. We got the Bucks logo with the state right there on the side, on the chest.
Yep.
The Brewers have a state logo, so I do wonder if they didn't realize that we should just push this one, but they're leaning into it more, and I appreciate it, because as much as we love the Milwaukee Bucks, we celebrate the Bucks. I don't know a ton of folks that are watching Bucks basketball potentially in Eau Claire, or how many people are fully dialed in Stevens Point. I do know throughout the summer, you can go on all different TVs and all radios across the state. People are listening and watching Brewers baseball. So
absolutely
to connect with the rest of the state, they have a good chance to be able to do some of it.
I've always, in my own personal power rankings, considered, the Packers are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the Brewers are 5.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
There's everybody else,
and then everybody else follows suit behind.
But I'm saying the Brewers are the second most popular entity statewide.
They're the only one that you can get takes from, and people are consuming across the states.
Right.
Now, maybe Brewers TV took a little bite into that. I don't think so. I think there's going to be a lot more people that are going to be watching more of the league, and it might be better for MLB at the end of the day.
So I'm wearing this Bucks in part because I love the weight of it for today's weather, but also because it's their last home game tonight, and they've declared Giannis out.
Inactive.
It could change today. They have that flexibility, but it probably won't. It never does. When guys are declared out the day before a game, they're very, very rarely elevated to active on game day, which means we won't get to see Giannis one last time. He won't get to play with his two brothers in front of his mom and his kids, and that's a bit of a bummer. So to all the people who bought tickets, speculate, and they did do the $20 deal with $10 in concession. You can get in the building.
Did anything they could,
which is nice. But there'll probably be more people further west on 94 watching Brewers and National.
100%. I hope that they at least give him the Keon Dueling microphone and let him talk before the game, right? Like, it's fan appreciation night, so a lot of times they would have one of the players say, "Hey, we really appreciate all the support, all the fan support all year long." Hopefully they let that be honest to give at least somewhat of a vocal send-off. But tonight would have been a great night for him to have the same moment that LeBron ended up having last night, where he got to have a breakaway bounce pass from Bronny to him, finish with a slam, first father-son assist to dunk in the NBA, because they're the first father-son to ever play together in the NBA. But to have that moment where they could have done the little Harlem Globetrotters handoff there at center court and move around the perimeter for 2-3 possessions, it would have made it worth the while. But I do wonder just how sticky this has gotten, if there were so many hurt feelings that at one point, Drew, what we just explained was the hope, was the goal. And then over the last 2 weeks, things have changed because feelings have gotten hurt. If that would be the case, I'd be really disappointed, because we all kind of knew it was trending towards this. Mm-hmm. Don't let what's happening in the last moments be what you remember from a hell of a basketball life lived from Giannis in Milwaukee.
Sage advice, William. Sage advice.
Oh, thank you. I was
It's
trying
too early to be that profound.
I got my glasses on today. I am feeling a
Hey,
little philosophical.
all right.
There we go.
I am
Yeah.
feeling a little philosophical.
Smart boy
over here.
glasses on.
Take it till you make it.
877-794-1973. We got Frozen 4. We got Giannis's saga, which is hitting into its maybe final chapter. Brewers City Connects, Brewers and Nationals this evening. We've got a pretty fun show holstered up for you. We're glad that you're up early with us, you insomniacs, early risers, and psychopaths, sociopaths outside the health club, banging on the door, waiting to get that preferred Stairmaster. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we're going to do our best to inform and entertain until they rip the microphones away from us at 8 o'clock in this fine morning. You're listening to The Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Friday edition of the Huddle. Broadcasting live from headquarters, Drew Wilson, Bill Schmidt, Dave Gasper in for Armin, who's enjoying another day in the desert, along with all the Wisco residents.
A lot of Wiscos out there. A lot of Wisco
there
folks out there.
watching
Come
the
on
Badgers beat number 2, the Fighting Hawks of Nodak, North Dakota. Nodak is their alternate jersey if they had a team.
I was going to say that would be their City Connect. Sorry, State Connect.
State Connect.
I guess Fargo wouldn't really want that to be a part of
Fargo,
theirs.
Bismarck. Yeah. We're broadcasting live, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live for you early risers, and the conversation's already begun on YouTube, X, and Facebook. We have plenty to talk about today with the Brewers firing up again. Giannis's status, he won't play tonight, which I got to say, Bill, I was a little torn. I'm going to the Brewers game tonight, but I was like, I had some FOMO, and now that has been eased.
Yeah, that quickly got extinguished. And now I'm happy that I'm going to be, as you mentioned, a couple of miles west over at the ballpark tonight to be able to see that instead of what ends up being a merciful end to the Bucs season. I saw Nate Marzian, who's one of the better guys on social to follow watching Bucs basketball, was like, the Bucs season ends in 2 days. We've finally made it. There's a long time where generally you just wake up and you're excited on a night in and night out basis when there's a Bucs game. For the last 3 months, it's been tough to have that. But for a relationship that seems to be coming to a close as well, the time for change that everybody was hoping for, that you wanted to see throughout the year, it's going to happen here pretty soon. Then it just depends on how vast the change is, how much of it is full roster or just the coach to a new coach coming in and changing that kind of a vibe. But it's going to be a much, much different looking Bucs team. So also let's send it off Doc Rivers and a round of applause.
Hall of Famer.
When they announce the Hall of Fame coach here tonight.
Yeah.
If maybe they do.
He left us the breadcrumbs that he's done after this year. And that's pretty much the Brewers doing him. The Bucs doing him a solid.
As he said, that's all I got to say about that.
Not firing him during the season, which would have been stupid, right? Because Darvin Ham moving over would not have changed anything at any point this season, I don't think.
No, it would not have
especially with Giannis being out
players
for the last 15 games, and
it wouldn't
they
have
were
helped.
below. We're right at 500 or below when Giannis played. So, yeah, it's down to the studs. If Giannis goes, who's even? I know Kevin Porter signed for a year, and you got Ryan Rollins is cheap. And Ousmane Dieng looks promising. Maybe you build around those guys and trade everybody else. But
yeah, it's
like I would trade Miles Turner.
You're trading anybody that has somewhat of value.
Everything must go. It's like down to the studs on this rebuild.
Yeah, and then you see how quickly and how much the trust is with John Horst. Like he's got an extension, Drew. So like the thoughts of them bringing somebody else in to do the job and actually do the rebuild, I don't necessarily think they would have signed him that extension. However, this is the NBA where if you win the coach of the year in the next 2 years, you're probably on the chopping block. So I don't know how much that buys you for sure, knowing that he's going to be the focal point here, but he's now become more of the front man for the rest of the guys. He's the only one that we've heard really answer questions from the ownership group outside of Eden's conversation with Ramona Shelburne. So it would appear that he's going to get full control to make this roster what he wants it to be. But it's going to be a much different one because they've always been one of the oldest teams, always pushing chips into the middle of the table. You got to try to be able to recoup some of those draft assets that you've thrown out for 5 second-round picks for Jay Crowder.
No question. So that is what they're charged with. It's going to be a very interesting offseason for the Bucs. I imagine we'll get Doc Rivers news like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm guessing it'll be pretty quick, right?
It should be that they've mutually agreed that he will not coach in the last year of his contract, and then he'll be an advisor because he ain't walking away from the money.
He's not going to walk away from $10 million.
But it's I would think it's pretty clear that in some way he's going to step aside.
And I wonder, but then
it'll be graceful. It won't be like we're firing him.
No, it'll be a nice message.
He wants to spend time with his grandkids.
It'll be a sweet. I don't know if they'll have AI do it or if they'll have one of the people on staff do the sweet graphic thanking Doc, and it'll probably be a thank you, Doc, in a retirement. And like you said, or a transitioning of roles, as you mentioned, but it's not going to be a ruthless firing and walking out, here, meet me for breakfast. And then don't even go to work that day. It's going to be a little bit different deal, I would assume, than that.
Little bit. 877-794-1010. 197.3. So we've been talking, we're inside of 2 weeks till the NFL draft, which is not hitting the same as it did last year when it was in Green Bay and the Packers went and picked Matthew Golden and snapped their streak of not taking a wide receiver. And it was such a spectacle. And the Packers this year don't have a first round pick, which means people don't have to really fire it up until day 2. It's hard enough to study up on the draft. We've got experts, galore. And Billy, you're going to be covering it with Wayne. The Cheesehead TV draft guide is out.
Yes, it
which
is.
Awesome.
Go get it now.
But given the circumstances, there will be more juice around the NBA draft this year, which hasn't had juice for Bucks fans in a long time because they're picking at the bottom of the first round. They don't have a great track record of picking and getting help from the draft.
Drew, it's been one of those deals where, like, even the draft lottery, I haven't known when it's going to be until the day of the draft lottery. Now it's going to be now. And there's going to be appointment viewing for us this year.
The tectonic plates have shifted in that regard. So the NBA draft is now something that I'll probably watch more intently than
you're gonna watch the combine. You're gonna watch some of those 3-on-3 drills that they have going in back and forth and down there.
Watching the guy's vertical jump. It's like it's like watching them do the standing broad jump.
Oh God,
or the 40 at the NFL combine.
The combine is a beautiful, beautiful thing. However, it is a fascinating deal how we've made that national television for the NFL side. NBA, they wish that they could get there. But I did get at least a little bit of an excitement, a little hankering for the NFL draft when I heard Dane Brugler, the guy that puts out the Beast, the massive draft guide over at The Athletic, Drew. And his favorite splash player no one's talking about was Riley Nowakowski in the 5th round. Like when I heard him being a potential, he goes, this guy's just going to be a great special teams player for you, do a lot of stuff on offense, probably play for 10 years and have a great career. All right, well, that sounds like a great guy to be doing it for the Packers because we said that they need to get a number 2 tight end behind Tucker Kraft.
Pick up a guy like that. There you go.
Being able to find some weeds, but you're going really, really deep into these lists to find the players that the Packers are going to be taking. They're on that second night. And
got to look at small schools. You got to look at,
well, very much so. The small schools that they also have
they got a type when it comes to the relative athletic score, athletic guys, the freaks, and then guys from Georgia they like. So
100%. And there's a number of guys that are going to be into that realm. And we can bore you with some of those names of guys that most likely won't be Packers, but Jake Golde, linebacker from Cincinnati, grew up a Packers fan, going to be right there in the mix. So I'm excited to get into it, but that's just because I'm a nerd and I have a sick, twisted love affair with the NFL. Like you gotta be into that realm, I think, to be juiced up for a draft where, again, like I guess the rarity of this has been kind of lost on me. They haven't gone into the offseason without their first round pick since the Huddle trade.
That's true. And
they haven't picked necessarily in the first round, but
you're a bit of a unicorn though, because you're a football guy. And there are people who will watch the NFL. They don't give a rat's ass about college football.
That's fair.
And you are basically prepping for the draft all year because you're following college football and you're watching who's good and you're dialed into that. So you're not coming into it cold like a lot of people who ignore college football and like save their Saturdays for going to Home Depot and Bed Bath and Beyond and doing a little yard work.
100%. That's fair.
And then I don't want to watch any of that crap. I don't care. So there is that delineation of fans. Like it's not as pronounced, I would say. Most people are like, if you like football, you like football and you watch it, but you're not as dialed in. You're not guys who are in fantasy leagues, that takes up bandwidth, and that might not make you want to watch the MAC game on a Wednesday that Billy will be hard down watching.
Yeah, and that's the one deterrent of the NFL trying to take over every single day. Drew, they might be stealing my Maction Wednesday.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know that I'm ready for me to not be able to sit down with Akron and Bowling Green and have to decide if I'm going to watch Jags Titans instead. So it's kind of the culmination where you get to watch guys like Gabe Jackas, who was a stud at Illinois all year long, then go into the NFL and finally get their chances. And it gives a little bit more fun when Wayne Larrivee sits next to you for the entirety of the draft.
Oh, yeah.
And he is an absolute savant. Like that is one of my favorite parts of doing the draft coverage. So it's going to be some maybe late night, but who knows? Maybe we're in here late on Thursday night, round 1, and all of a sudden sitting at 26, we see that beautiful G pop up and the Packers trade up. We don't know. That might be a little too rich for their liking, but they've moved around before.
They only have 7 picks. I would assume they've taken at least 2 cornerbacks. I think it's going to be Christmas morning for Jonathan Gannon.
It appears that it should
2
be in
and
that
3.
realm.
He'll
Yep.
have a 2-day Christmas celebration because they're going to give him defensive help, I would imagine.
They need linemen. They probably need another backer, like in as
Corners.
much as corners. Absolutely,
They'll double up on corners.
The
I think.
the thing that Nagler and I were talking about it on Carry the G Radio, the podcast this week, or you can available now wherever you get your podcast.
Plug, my man.
That Drew, like, they've been very okay with starting Carrington Valentine as a 7th-round corner. So I wonder if on day 2.
So Chris Johnson of San Diego State's a 2nd-round corner, and he'll start over Carrington.
Oh, absolutely so. But like, I wonder if they are not going to be as hell-bent on grabbing one right away because they're like, hey, we've done it before. We started Evan Williams in the 4th round. Like, if they're looking for more experienced guys who might fall down a little bit, it's not necessarily I love when people say it's not a great draft. It's a really good draft. No one really knows.
No one knows.
What we do know is a lot of the highest end players that you anticipated seeing coming out, a number of them are still in college, especially at the quarterback spot. But there's players that have played 25, 35, upwards of 40 games still in college football and have operated now for most of their college life, Drew, as a pro athlete. So this is like one of the first full-on NIL talent drafts. And I'm excited to see how those players start to transition and how much more pro ready certain guys are because of the path they took in college. I mentioned Evan Williams. He went in as a senior to Oregon, and he's like, it was basically like I was a rookie because I got thrown in, I had to learn the playbook, and I was expected to perform right away. That kind of early expectations, learning a playbook and being able to go right into a system, maybe it does tailor itself a little bit more to some of these young guys learning Ganathan's system because there's really no holdovers. The last couple of years we've looked at, especially in the linebacker room, Isaiah McDuffie had a leg up because he worked at Boston College with Jeff Hafley.
That's right.
Tyron Hopper and Isaiah McDuffie are all starting at even playing fields. The only one that's got a leg up is Edrin Cooper because they're excited to give him a second contract at some particular point in time.
And Hargraves.
And the guys that we already signed. Those guys we have some backing.
He's got a leg up.
Those guys have a leg up.
Familiarity, trust factor.
We're going to start seeing the guys and I'm interested to see if they bring in 1 or 2 more guys that they could, because after the draft, no money goes against your compensatory value. So that to me is also, they have 7 picks, as you said. I think that they have probably 7 to 8 spots that are legit available. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move after the draft with more veterans, because then it doesn't count against their compensatory value next year in free agency. And they have been very, very cautious with dipping into that pool. They want all the 4th-round picks in 2027.
Yep. Draft is heating up. It's getting closer again. It's not hitting the same this year, but it's still important. We'll be talking about it plenty on the show.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit the same because we're not going to be partying up there as much.
Nope.
And
we won't have the frat house. We won't have,
I got people that I didn't know liked football asking me if I was going to the draft and where I was going to see them last year.
Quite the spectacle. And in some ways, it seems like it was 10 years ago and it was last year.
That's very true.
Life comes at you fast.
It does. It flies in here.
It's the Friday edition of the Huddle. Scott Dolphin's going to join us about 6:30 for a little halftime report. It always puts wind in our sails for the second half, especially
gets us rolling
when it's Friday and we're rolling into the weekend. We're rolling into spring. It's Masters week. We got to talk about that. Rory's looking good. We've got that holstered up for you as well. You are in the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew and Billy bringing it to you. David Gasper is behind the glass, filling the role of the furry Armenian Armin Sarian, who's going to be back from the desert on Monday. Hopefully, we'll be talking
Are we sure?
We think.
I mean, I hope so. Like, luckily, he's out there with the missus, so he can't get into that much trouble. And it's Armin. So, I mean, like, he can't get into that much trouble.
That's pretty true.
Then there's no deal too good for him to stay out there and spend any more money on resort fees. That's fair.
Yep. 877-794-1973 gets you to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We've got, the whole bag open for you. I watched a little of the Masters yesterday. Did you watch some? Rory's famous for having bad first rounds there and kind of.
And he was hot as a pistol.
Can't win the Masters on Thursday, but you can lose it. And he was hot as a pistol yesterday.
My man John Rahm definitely lost it yesterday. +6 on day one. Bryson was bad. It looked like him and that 3D putter might not be making it into the weekend. I watched a little bit of it. I know this is gonna surprise you guys. I watched some of it at the Potawatomi Sportsbook yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
First off,
hottest place in town.
If you're not going to be walking the grounds at Augusta, we talked about like the sights and sounds. You're basically an amen corner. Like that is that 2,000 square foot video wall. That is intensity watching it right there.
By the way, did they hand out any cake or party favors in the wake of the announcement that came yesterday with Governor Evers allowing them to do mobile betting?
Man, I'm glad I was standing and talking to our buddy Luis and Austin Herdina, the sportsbook manager, and our guy Luis, who does a lot of marketing and correct
the GM kind of
continues to just get elevated, and from group sales with the Milwaukee Bucks all the way to basically running that place. Luis is the man. So I'm standing right there. We're just having a casual conversation, actually talking Brewers, talking about the new jerseys, talking about the weekend, and he gets the boom. Quick dap and the smile that went on his face right as the signing of the bill happened. I was there and I got to see the live reaction. The funniest part was my man Austin being like, "Wait, why did you get a text and I didn't? Why did you get to learn and I didn't?" Everybody wanted to know it first, so it was there was going to be a big celebration, I assume, once I left. But there was cutting it up early yesterday. There were a decent amount of men's leagues in there, Drew. Like you could tell there were some groups that said, we're going to do the Scott Dolphin play 9 early, tell our wives we're playing 27, and then we're going to go to the casino. And then we're going to go straight to Potawatomi in our golf gear and watch the Masters because they were having themselves a banner time.
Yep. So this is, obviously, they're not online up and running yet, but they've got the okay.
Not yet, but it's going to be close, dude.
The app.
So and legally the way that it'll play through, they call it something, and I don't have it in front of me. I should know exactly through, but the server is what will be on the land, and then any operator, as long as you're within the state confines on your mobile device, have to register with Potawatomi, and then you'll be able to invest in sports legally from your mobile device right from your couch. Also, the other tribes will be allowed to, I believe, operate their own if they would like to. Like, so there's people that listen to us near Oneida and they have started the capabilities of it. They'll also be able to, but Potawatomi will be ahead of the curve because they've been working on this for a long time. And our friend Justin Arnett has been doing a ton of work behind the scenes. His man Eric there as well they've been going nonstop trying to develop this thing and make sure it is as cool as possible. And how cool is it going to be, Drew? It's as real as it's going that it'll ever have been in Milwaukee, where you can be sitting in your seat in section 212, not one of the family sections. Maybe not. Right. That might now also have to say no alcohol or sports betting on your phone. But maybe not in the family section. But somebody's gonna be sitting in his seat saying, "Brewers down 2-0, going into the 6th. This is right when they get hot. +215 on the money line, and you can bet it right from your phone." Right from your seat, right in the stadium. It's going to be a paradise and a beautiful place to be able to live finally. Once again, it's always been a great place to live. It's why we love it so much. It's why we call it home on our jerseys. And also why, Drew, our friend Mary, apparently on the YouTube chat, we found one. Mary said, "I say Wisco all the time when I talk to my family back in Wisconsin. Love the jersey, love the Barrelman hat in the inside or the outline of Wisconsin." So we found one. We do find, Mary, and we have Mary who calls it Wisco.
You're a freak. I've
One
lived
of
here my
few.
whole life, and no one calls it Wisco.
We haven't been able to encounter him. So I'm glad we found one. If you are also one, 877-794-1973. Let's see if we can add some more in there.
Yeah, let's get it. So the news about being able to bet, it's the hub and spoke thing where the server has to be on the,
yes.
Yeah, that has to be on the tribal land, and then
And there's a number of different states that have a very similar model. The hub and spoke was first kind of in Florida at the Seminole Casino, all through Tampa, and it's a very, very popular strategy.
But what happened was they had to hold off the lobbying from DraftKings and FanDuel. Because they didn't want that. Like the tribes didn't want that. They wanted to have not daily fantasy. They want daily,
Yeah, in
sportsbook.
Well, and the other part of it is, and this is really into the weeds of it, but when you go into business then with the DraftKings and the FanDuels and such like that, they have such overwhelming portfolios and capital that they can offer ridiculous different boosts and benefits and things like that ultimately benefit them, not generally as much as the player thinks it does. And then they also take the majority of the funds, where this was very, very important to the state as well, and to Governor Evers, was that the money's going to stay with the tribes here. And this is the best model for it, to be able to have all tribes be able to be a part of it, everybody be able to be into the gaming commission, as well as it just be legalized and it be governed and watched. I know there's a lot of people, Drew, that have said a lot of things, rightfully so and understandably so, of the questioning, how much more conversation about sports wagering does there need to be, and how many more issues, Dante John or my man from Damon Jones, pardon me, from Cleveland and such, for us to then say, why don't we just walk away with this? Those things are getting nipped in the butt because there are legal eyes and governing bodies watching it every single day. That kind of stuff doesn't necessarily happen if it's not as legal and above board.
Given the convenience of being able to place bets from your palm, from the bathroom or the stadium or whatever, you still love going to the sports book at Potawatomi Casino.
Yeah, I do.
So will you then change your, habits? It's going to be tempting for you.
That's a good question, Drew. That's a great question.
And that's what it's the old thing about back in the day. The Brewers home games were never on TV because they didn't want to do it. They wanted people to come to the games, but then they realized putting the games on TV made people come to the games more often.
Come to the games. You're right. I think it might. Then I also want to go cash in at the casino, so I might as well have to get there. The paper ticket always still feels good in the hand.
Plenty to unpack. We're through the first hour. Shooting shirts are off. It's the Friday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. I'm Doug Russell. Wisconsin owns college hockey.
6:43 to go. Lead feed. Here's Botterill. Got behind the defense. He'll step one up. He scores! Oh, Ryan Botterill! It's 2-0 Wisconsin.
Ryan Posick on the play-by-play. Last month, the Wisconsin women win the national championship. Now the men will have a chance at a Title II. In the national semifinal, Wisconsin wins over North Dakota 2-1. The Badgers will play for the championship tomorrow afternoon against Denver. They beat Michigan 4-3 in overtime on the other side of the bracket. To golf, first round of the Masters in the books. Defending champion Rory McIlroy with a share of the lead at -5, along with Sam Burns, Jason Day, Patrick Reed, and Kurt Kitayama. They're all at -3, 2 shots off the pace. The Brewers off on Thursday. They welcome in the Nationals tonight. The Bucks host the Nets tonight, Milwaukee's last home game of the year. Their lost season ends on Sunday at Philly. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddle.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Bill for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We're going to tackle what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to board down to. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Get those sit down guys after and make the play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake 396 bag. D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Friday edition, the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and the YouTube. Drew Olson, Bill Schmid. Dave Gasper is in for Armin Sarian today. We're hanging out with you. NicoletLaw.com, talking text line 877-794-1973. Brewers in action tonight, American Family Field, after a road trip through Kansas City and Boston, back facing the Nationals' first National League opponent of the year.
Come on now.
First game in their City Connect, State Connect Wisco jerseys and uniforms.
Let's go. We got another one, Robert. I've called it Wisco, Green Bay native. There we go. Cast the thousands maybe out here casting a wide
in a
net.
distinct minority. Unless, like we've talked about, unless you're a Knipple and you're from Wisconsin Lutheran, you probably never utter a Wisco.
The flying Knipple jerseys. I like that one too. Now, I've heard Sconson was our friend Tommy and Stallis of what he's called it. We've also wondered what people are doing. And then 608, fake fashion outrage. The jerseys are just fine. Grab the merch or a merch grab. Yeah, it absolutely is a merch grab. We actually don't mind the jerseys at all. We just think the
they
name
could have
is
said
funny.
the Goodland more than Wisco.
That would have been another good one. I like that.
The Goodland, that's the Wayne's World reference, you know, Algonquin.
I also
Goodland
potentially would have just put the Brewers across the front, right? Like they have the script, the Brewers one down on the bottom by the tag. Like that would have been awesome.
Said Crew. That would have been all right.
Could have said Crew. They could have had a lot of things, but you know what? They're going to look cool as long as they're beating the Nationals tonight.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what the uniform is. Like
you don't think Brandon Woodruff's going to go in and cut the sleeves off like Chris Sale deal? I'm not comfortable in this one.
The Utter Tuggers or the Bratwurst or something. It would have been, you know.
Our buddy Boss Dobler hit us up with the Nashville Brewskis. Dave, you got the shirt.
Yeah, I do got a shirt. It's sweet.
My buddy Frank was down there with the Nashville Sounds in their merchandise department. They also had the hot chickens, which was a deal one time. Not as close to a Brewers logo, but you can find different things that can fire these things up and make it similar. We're finding different ways, creative for it. For the
Brewers, as part of their reveal, posted a video clearly from opening day of Jordan Love reaching into a cooler, a Wisco cooler, and grabbing the jersey and taking a look at it.
Oh, yeah, and it was I did appreciate we had a video of Mark Antanasio rocking the jersey yesterday. Yeah. They got the little log cabin, it looks like, where you can buy some of the merch. So
Brewers are they're killing it on social.
I want that cooler. Yeah, I mean, the cooler that Jordan Love pulled it out of, like the Wisco, like the branding on there, the color scheme, that cooler looked sweet.
Pretty cool. All right, 877-794-1973. Speaking of the Brewers, as they get ready to face the Nationals tonight with Chad Patrick on the mound against Jake Irvin, 6:40 first pitch. Billy will be in the house. I'll be in the house. Gasper will be in the house.
Be in the house. The full squad going to be there. It's going to be a
team coverage coming up on Monday.
It's going to be an exciting night.
is going to be there.
I was going to say Hunter's going to be there, and also you want to talk about full coverage. We're going to be there on Sunday too for Woody to be able to start at American Family Field. It's going to be a big Brewers weekend.
Yeah.
For the times in the middle of, as much as this is Masters weekend, and we are excited to watch the second nine and the azaleas and people eating pimento cheese. The Brewers have people, I think, with a Brewers fever that's ready to roll. I mean, I'm not saying we're full turning up the heat, Drew. Stomp your hand or clap your hands, stomp your feet. Like, I'm not saying we're full on singing "Come See What's Brewing," but it does feel like it's the excitement is quite high right now for the crew.
I agree, and it's funny because I was flashing back the other day because I get the social posts, and especially with the Brewers off last night, we're hearing, Cooper Pratt got his deal, and then Made and Blake Burke are tearing it up for Biloxi.
Oh, it's insane.
The Brewers have such a strong farm system. I'm old enough to remember when the big league team sucked, and Jim Powell was Bob Uecker's partner, and he spent most of his 3 innings reading the Huntsville Times to people, because Huntsville was the AA at that point, and just telling people about the exploits of the Fielders and Weeks and Hardys and like the guys that were coming, because there wasn't much to talk about at the big league level. Well, now the Brewers have a division champ, perennial playoff contender, some stars, emerging stars on their roster, and they're not hapless at the big league level. And yet the minor leagues is still exciting, that the people are still like, oh, did you see what Made did? Did you see, Blake Burke's got 6 homers in 6 games. It's ridiculous. And they got a pretty good team in Nashville, and they got stars all over the place in the minor leagues. And you're not turning to that for a ray of hope.
Yeah.
You're
It's
turning
more
to
of
that
like
because it's like, wow, another cool thing to look at.
Yeah. Another thing, looking more at your chips when you're still sitting at the table being like, wow,
because
I still have all these ones back here.
One of the things that's true about, in this era of the haves and the big money teams, like if you're a Dodgers fan, you give a rat's ass what's happening at AA.
Doesn't matter. Not at all.
No, you're not invested, and you're not following guys going, oh, I can't wait till that guy gets to the big leagues. Oh, I'm going to buy that guy's jersey when he gets up here. Oh, and having the Brewers having the Timber Rattlers, they've had some guys come through there through a Grand Shoot that form a bond, and that's part of the Wisco thing. It's the state's team, and they form that bond, and you start to follow guys, and you want to root for them, and it's cool. But yeah, like Yankees fans, Dodgers fans, even Cubs fans, they're not really following the minor leagues.
No, and
don't care.
Luckily, I've had a fun, somewhat contentious conversation with our friend Dave Gasper about this, because Dave will tell not only what Burke is doing and Made is doing, what the backup second baseman did last night in AA Biloxi. So like Dave knows all of these guys, front, back, left, and right.
Dave is the guy. When I was on the beat and Doug Melvin was the GM, I would get these emails and we'd do these chats, and somebody would be like, hey, this kid, this Perez kid in the Dominican Summer League has missed 3 games in a row. Is he hurt? And I would ask Doug Melvin. He'd be like, I don't know who that is.
I'm not familiar with this game.
I don't know who that 16-year-old is on the DSL. I'm not following. I don't know who that is. And it's like somebody was geeked on this 16-year-old kid and following his progress in the Dominican Summer League and wondering, like, is the guy hurt? Is he like... And I think it turned out the guy was having like a dental issue or something, but
getting a teeth pulled.
But when you go to the GM and he's like, I don't,
you gotta get the wisdom teeth.
There are people more into the depths of our farm system than the general manager,
and he's the one sitting right there in the dark.
And that's me.
And he's sitting in the dark, waiting and enjoying.
Yes, that's you, Gasper.
I am Dave, and I am tall, and I am studying all of these cats. And last year, Drew, come deadline time, like in all reality, I don't care at all about the Nashville Sounds, and nor do I care at all about these guys that are still coming up outside of how can they help the Brewers win potentially sooner, because it all started up with the Quinn Priester trade with Euphoria Rodriguez.
Yes, Euphoria Rodriguez.
Let's go. I remember I actually pronounced my man's name correctly, and not knowing the exploits that Rodriguez had done already and who he could become, you're like, I don't care. Send 3 Euphoria Rodriguez's away to give me somebody that can actually play. That was also before I even knew Quinn Priester was going to be good. So there's a fun balancing act where, Drew, there's Dodger fans, as you mentioned, big market teams are like, well, we'll ship those guys off either way.
Yeah, who cares?
But now
we'll get the best guy in the market.
You sit in section 130 tonight. I think there's a large majority of Brewers fans that already know, not only just because of the cash, Cooper Pratt's name, Made, as you mentioned, maybe Andrew Fisher after a little bit of the WBC. And it's not only let's wait to see, could we trade one of these guys at the deadline and get somebody that'll actually help you? But there's a weird conundrum that Brewers fans have, because we understand how the team operates, of like, yeah, that guy might be more important than the backup that we have. Jesus Made is a much more integral part of Brewers fandom than I think Luis Rengifo is yet.
Oh, yeah.
And one's not going to take it at bat for the Brewers at all, but a lot more fans know who he is than the guy that might be starting at third most of the year.
Yeah. The other interesting thing is, like, they give Cooper Pratt this extension, and people are like, well, why don't they do that with Terang? And why don't they lock up
That would be nice.
Mizorowski, like, and Contreras is the perfect example because he's pretty close.
Contreras is the one that I would love for him to be
this year and next, and then he's
Yes.
headed free agency. He ain't signing any extension. He wants to go play it out and try to go. And that's what Terang will likely do. I'm sure they've made inroads. They've made offers and explored, but why would Terang do it? He's gonna be top of the market. He's gonna be an all-star. He's got the World Baseball Classic. He's got momentum. Anything could happen with injury and stuff like that, but he looks like he's on a track where he can make more money just letting it ride. Same Miz. Priester's 25. They could lock up Priester maybe, but getting those guys like the Andrew Fishers and those guys to under cost control is a move. Like, because those other guys, like, you don't think that the Brewers would want to extend Terang? Sure they would, but why? What's in it for Terang? Like, he can make more and get to free agency as quick as you can.
And he's actually going to start making actual money, right? Like now that once you get into arbitration, you actually start making M's next to your dollar figures instead of 770,000.
Like Pratt and Mate and Pena in the pipeline, it's not out of the realm to think that they trade Terang before he's impending, free agency. They could trade him before that and back up the truck and get a lot of good stuff for him, and then slide one of the kids in,
Yeah, it
looks like Mate and Pratt is your, who
as your
knows,
middle infield. Yeah,
in 2028, that's your start at your opening day, middle infield, likely.
Yeah, I think
potentially 27.
I was going to say potentially sooner, maybe potentially sooner, but
Made's lighting up AA, so could happen. But yeah, and I wonder too, where if we get a salary cap and floor after this year with the CBA coming up, and all of a sudden the Brewers have to spend an extra 20-30 million just to hit the floor. I wonder if maybe that could change the calculus too on maybe a Terang extension, because with what the Brewers might be willing to pay him now versus when they have to get to a floor, maybe it's like, hey, if we got to spend an extra 30 million to hit the floor, why not spend it on Terang?
And spend it on somebody that people have already bought jerseys of and are watching and excited about now, because that would be a tough equation to be able to solve, Dave, because you could then say, well, we have more potential here and more hidden value. It's like what these teams are ultimately doing in the NFL draft coming up next week or in 2 weeks too. It's like we have this player here who plays a non-premium position where the top guy at the market is making 17 million. Or we could take this guy that if he plays edge rusher and he's good and he's getting us 10, 12 sacks a year by year 2, well, that guy's making 48. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy as how much we're saving. And I wonder if there would be a pull from the Brewers to say, hey, we do still have so much more value if we get for the additional years. It would add more thought to it. I do see more and more teams, though. People are saying that it's prepping for the salary cap of why the Pirates are getting out in front with the Connor Griffin deal, or the Brewers with Cooper Pratt. I just think it's good business. And it's one that you're seeing a lot more of, because the crazy idea is these guys in the minors want to have some money in their pocket. Like, I would also want to, like, you always want to bet on yourself. But there's something to say to having some locked in security that you've already made a bag, Drew. It might not be the Juan Soto contract, but listen, there's a lot of contracts that in Major League Baseball that are not Juan Soto's, but are still pretty livable and workable if you're going through the rest of your life.
Yeah, no question. And to the way that they're rolling this out, I would say, given the pipeline of talent, that Terang could be a trade piece, right? And it's like,
oh, absolutely so.
And we love him and the first round pick, and that's kind of how you're supposed to do it with the Brewers. It's like that they're running their organization where they have options. You're right. They could peel off if they need somebody in the deadline. They could peel off an Andrew Fisher or somebody, or a Pena. They could peel off one of these good prospects that people want.
They have legit players that people would be attracted to.
The farm system has a dual purpose. You're developing players for your own roster or to make them attractive to other teams in trades.
It really is all capital. It's all player capital. And it's different than the other sports of where, like, you can't just look at it in terms of funds and money that you're spending out. And also the way the Brewers have done it, like, who am I to say that this move is better than that one to be able to make? I would love William Contreras to stay for a 4-year deal at $100 million. But like you said, Drew, he has no clue where that market's going to go. I don't think it's going to explode to the point where that would be like an undervalue,
But
you never know your value until everybody's able to pay you.
And how good is Caro going to be? And where is William Contreras like headed for? Will he be the DH when Yelich leaves? Right? Because Yelich they got through 28, a mutual option for 29, maybe.
Yeah.
And the other thing when Yelich was coming up, it was I was doing an afternoon show and I was pounding the pavement for them to sign him to whatever the contract was. Right? He's coming off of an MVP season.
Mm-hmm.
He signed it before he breaks the kneecap, correct?
After
he signs it after he breaks the kneecap. Yeah. So you're looking at a dude that legit just put together 2 MVP seasons. One he didn't win because he didn't get to play 12 games. The other one he took because he ran away with it. And in Milwaukee, I think there's something to be said for needing a franchise player, needing an icon, needing somebody that you can put on the banner right away when you walk in behind home plate at American Family Field. He's going to be the first one. It's been Ryan Braun for a long time. The torch got passed to Christian Yelich. And as much as I keep kind of forgetting because he didn't start the season on the active roster, they've already kind of assigned that to Jackson Chourio. But you almost forget because last year while they're going through winning 14 straight, he's on the IL. Right. He starts the year on the IL this year and kind of forget that he's right now been one of the most productive players at the start of a career that Major League Baseball has ever seen. It's important to have one of those guys, having a franchise trademark that you can put their jerseys and jerseys at the Kohl's department stores across the state, Drew. And it's nice that they at least have one before they get, kind of backed into a corner on trying to identify one.
Well played. Well played. Yeah, it's interesting. And they do have they got the options.
They got plenty of options for it.
So the team store, what was the team store like? The local TV news has the story from the team store about the new jersey.
Well, we missed the Barrel Man and cheerleader party that was going on a little bit beforehand. Yeah. However, I mean, that customized jersey area was live. I'll tell you that much. It was taking a while for them to be able to crank all those things out. So there were a lot of people. There were a lot of folks going in and grabbing some. There were other pieces of the gear, Drew, that I thought I appreciated almost more. Like they had one that has the color scheme that just says Milwaukee across the front of it. So like there are little things that people were like, oh, I didn't see this on the reveal. I like this one.
Yeah.
But it was funny to watch the folks that still went in and grabbed normal Brewers gear, right? Like a Garrett Mitchell cream jersey. And he like looked around a little bit like, is anyone going to judge me for not buying the new stuff today? And then just like ran to the back. He's like, I'm going to get out of here as quick as possible before anybody realizes I'm not getting the new Wisco gear. But it was busy. It was bumping. Barrel Man always sets a level of excitement. And it seemed like that was just kind of oozing through the rest of the afternoon.
I like that.
They were doing some good business though, Drew.
I like that. I'm sure they will throughout the weekend.
I mean, there were folks going in there buying gear, then coming back in the gear that they bought to buy more stuff. So that's when you got a hitter probably.
That's the, people got their tax refunds.
That's fair.
Got some money in the pocket.
They said instead of going
under the Christmas bills,
instead of going and buying a new car, I'm going to go buy that new Jackson Chourio jersey.
Yeah.
The other thing on the jersey look for the City Connect compared to the old or the new old looking blue, the powder blue that they just came out with. Dave, you notice how they fit Mizorowski on the jersey that you can buy at the team store? I mean, it looks like the Gateway Arch. It is huge, Drew. And then
it's pretty wild.
You can actually look at it on like the normal level of the nameplate on the new one. So I wonder if you're looking at the balancing of it, you're like, I actually don't know that I want a number that's going to sit on my belt line. That's where it actually might go if you get the Mizorowski that goes on the full arc.
I just went to the because I didn't go to the team store yet, and I don't know when.
I like that yet, though. I like that yet.
But I did go to the online store, brewers.com/shop, and I'm looking at the ancillary items that you're talking about. Well, first of all, we've reached the point where should we be shocked that a fitted hat costs over $50?
Yeah, I don't think we can be. No.
I mean, that to me is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a different life.
A fitted hat is $50 now.
Yeah, 50. Soon it's going to be $59.50.
But I'm looking at some of the other stuff
instead.
Looking at some of the other variations. There's a gray City Connect Stack Team Phrase T-shirt, and it's got the grill with the new color scheme, and in orange type it says on top Brewtown Baseball, and then it's got the little grill from the old
Oh, okay.
So I'm just like, well, first of all, you found the one thing that no one says even less than they say Wisco is Brewtown. Like, if you ask anybody, can I get, I'll waive the consulting fee. Just call me and say, hey, we're thinking about putting this on a shirt. No one says Brewtown.
Brew City.
Not Brewtown.
Definitely not Brewtown.
Not Brewtown.
Pound Town. Not Brewtown. I'm just saying. Like, no one says Wisco and no one says Brewtown.
I'm starting to wonder if the person that wrote the excuses, pardon me, the statements for Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini were coming up with some of these trademarks where they're like, hey, what we did was we were driving to go meet some friends. Well, no one drives 4 hours round trip to go meet your girlfriend's friends. All right. No. Even the most desperate high school kid isn't doing that. I don't know that anybody was doing that. Definitely nobody's calling it Brewtown. There was also a Brew Nation one in there.
Yeah.
A tough one. However, going to be looking cool as long as they're thumping the Nats 6-2 tonight.
That's what matters.
We're going to get Bryce Terang back in the lineup tonight.
I think we should.
We're going to get some confirmation for sure of that probably when you guys are hanging out by the dugout later on.
I'll get some confirmation while we're down there now. I'll let you know.
Okay, because I'm excited to hear that on the Milwaukee Baseball pregame show coming up here later on tonight.
I'm excited.
Get that 1.5 total bases.
I'm excited that we've reached halftime of the Friday edition of the Huddle, which means Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall is going to pop in and we'll chat with Dolph. Ask him his thoughts about these jerseys and the new look. And the Badgers headed to the final.
I was going to say
the Frozen Four championship game coming up Saturday. Looking forward to that.
As our Big Ten guy, I know that he was excited. I bet he was a little bit brokenhearted that the Wolverines lost in overtime. Said no one ever.
Said no one. Scott Dolphin is up next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. That's right. It's halftime on the Huddle. Drew Olson, Bill Schmidt, Dave Gasper's in for Armin. We welcome Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall. And Dolph, we need your input on this hot topic of fashion today. The Brewers City Connect. We'll call them State Connect.
Yeah, right.
Jerseys. The leak was true. People who saw the leak like a week or two ago, I think it was opening day. I think we started to see the leak of what the jerseys turned out to be. And we've had some time to look at them. And I imagine, Dolph, that you kind of like these.
They're growing on me. When I first looked at it,
that Bears looking color scheme.
Yeah, is that? But maybe that's what it is, Drew. At first I thought, nah. I mean, it's not the Brew Crew with the grill and everything, but it's nice. I like the fact that they're doing the Wisconsin tribute with. Now, what do they say? The Wisco is a tribute to the minor league Brewers. Did they have that
the
on
American Association? I think it's the script.
The script kind of
lettering was
okay.
to the American Association Milwaukee.
Yeah, because they were the Brewers back in the American Association.
Yeah, back in like 1901 when they lost like 120 games or something.
Wow. The details are not important, Dave. Details are not more than they could have won 120 games, and I would have thought that was
back
true.
at Borchard Field where Drew knows that park. He covered the Brewers back then.
Field, absolutely. Snuck in with Bud Selig and Bob Euchre snuck in on Kids Day.
Orchard Field was the
school.
Weirdest damn little. It was the size of a city block, so they had to make it narrow and kind of long. And now I guess it's where the freeway runs.
Pretty much, yeah.
40 or 43 runs north of
So
downtown.
is our Milwaukee version of the Polo Grounds?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, or
Very-
maybe
very much
Ebbets
so.
Field, something like that.
So
My favorite looks.
they're reaching out to the state. They've got Wisco across the
Yep.
top, and we've been joking about how no one says Wisco.
No.
other
Well,
than Wisconsin
Lutheran, right?
Wisco and hey, Oconomowoc playing Wisco tonight.
Right.
Okay,
Yep,
Right.
instantly
That's
no.
the one spot
WL.
Wisconsin Lutheran that's
So
used.
they have forward somewhere on the uniform, which is the state's
State motto. I thought that would have been cool. Now, no one says Wisco, but then I'm surfing around and I see a shirt with the new logo that says Brewtown. And there's another thing that people say less than Wisco,
Sure.
which is almost none.
Brewtown.
Brewtown. No one.
No
one.
Brew
would call
City.
this.
We hear
Brew
that.
City.
Yep.
I like
Brew
Beer
Town.
Town.
Yeah.
I like Beer Town. I like that.
Brew City. I mean, yes, Brew City, common. Brewtown,
Brewtown.
Pound Town.
Yeah, you can take that one
go.
about time. There's enough. They put Brew City on the playoff sweatshirt a couple of years ago, and I don't know that I've seen a more universally worn sweatshirt than the one with the Brewers logo, the ball and glove, and the Brew City name on it.
I think my favorite part about this City Connect jersey that they're unveiling tonight is I love that retro old school barrel man leaning down to make the running catch.
Yeah.
I could wear that on a t-shirt. Or a hoodie.
Freelick inspired. I don't know.
Well, if Freelick inspired, it would be jumping for a ball they could probably catch just standing up. But the thought of it also kind of looks. Drew and I were talking about it earlier. It kind of looks a little Admirals like. With one of their old school ones.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we could have a really, really nice cross sport promotion where we get both of them on the same look.
Well, they should give that. The Admirals have worn the Brewers patch for years, right?
Years. So I'm excited. I think I'm excited more than anything, Dolph, to see it in action.
So
I like the fact though that they're putting it out similar to how teams do for like homecoming games. Like we're going to figure it out when we're playing the Nationals.
Yeah.
And then we'll blitz them.
Right.
Then we'll play with our new jerseys. These used to be the Marlins, and that's why they started the hey, we're going to have a home run derby when the Miami Marlins come in town. They're like, but by the way, we're going to sweep y'all.
That's hilarious.
So you guys want to schedule us for homecoming? Good luck.
So what do they say? They say the blue reflects this, and then the sandstone cliffs reflect this color.
I didn't get the whole.
I think one of the best things about tonight is they're unveiling a pop-up supper club type menu on the field level with walleye and meatloaf and things you'd find in a Wisconsin supper club.
That's
Brandy
cool.
old fashions.
Brandy old fashions.
Yeah.
So instead of Wisco, they could have been the supper clubs because there's a team that did that.
That would have worked as well.
that's
Clubs,
great.
the bratwurst, the udder tuggers.
The fish fry was an
Fish fry was
Admirals
an
one.
Admirals one. I still have that
That's right.
T-shirt. The Udder Tuggers, was that the Timber Rattlers?
Timber Rattlers.
Yeah.
They do that a lot.
They had the frozen pizzas last year that they brought in.
Yep.
We are
That's
the frozen
awesome.
pizza
Yeah.
capital of
We
the
are.
world, right?
There's no question. But Dolph, are you a hat guy? Because that's the thing that shocks me as I'm looking through this, that we've reached the point where fitted hats now cost $50.
Yeah, I know.
That's like, I mean, if you're a kid, you want to collect hats. Remember in our day,
It's almost better that the kid wants to collect jerseys.
It was the batting helmets, the fake plastic batting helmets
that you
with
get
the
by
adjustable.
throwing at the radar gun.
Yeah, you would buy, and you would want that. And that was the cool thing. You go to the ballpark and want to get a different team.
Yeah.
Like, you want to have a couple different teams.
Sure.
back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, and you'd wear that to Little League and everywhere else, and then of
Ball,
course
Little League.
and of course the mini helmets, which are filled with ice cream. Those are
Uh-huh.
hot items.
Yep.
too.
Food always tastes better out of a helmet.
Yeah, that's why Dad has to get the big nacho one, because there's usually the moment of, Dad, we need a helmet. I'm like, buddy, we have 8 of those at home, and you wear a different one every day.
Every day.
Well, you know who needs one? You. So like, go get that $27 nacho
boy.
helmet and then put that thing on, because we need you supporting the squad.
You don't see the not safe for play helmets anymore, do you?
Not so much. No. Not so much.
Okay, so the $50 cap,
and
I don't own a fitted hat and haven't since I played junior college baseball and we had to wear one. I don't like the feel of a fitted cap. I don't like it. It's
I like
either
the
too
flex
tight or
fit.
too loose.
Yep.
Flex fits are fine.
Fit is a good compromise. If
I've
you
got
don't want
some of
the
those.
trucker adjustable, you get the flex fit, and then that looks fitted, but it's still comfortable.
The Brewer stuff, the caps that I have, I think a couple of them are the 47 wear.
Yeah,
they're comfortable, and
I don't wear a lot of hats.
Well, see, if I had a head of hair like you guys, I also wouldn't wear a hat.
I just don't think I look good in hats, man. My ears stick out or something.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
got
know,
a great
it's weird.
hairline, though. That's also one of the reasons why you don't want to wear hats. Like, I wouldn't put one on if I had cool hair. I have a receding hairline, so like I kind of have to find a decent one to be able to throw on.
your hair's fine.
You got the big flow though.
Yeah, but it's quickly going to be becoming the horseshoe, which is a difficult life to be living.
Dave's got good hair in there too.
So that's why
it's not as good. I'm kind of more on Billy. We're
I was
starting
going
to
to
go
say,
back.
Dave's feeling the peaks. Dave's seeing the peaks.
Yeah,
With
wearing
being
a lot
able
more
to
hats.
Be able to cover a little bit of that up. I generally rock the fitted or the flex fit because I like to have the little logo here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're wearing the snapback backwards.
Yeah.
You're either going to have yourself the wickedest sunburn of all
Weird
time.
tan lines.
With the little half sun.
Yeah, or you're really going to need to make sure that adjustment is on the right spot, because otherwise it's going to be looking like it is absolutely choking your forehead there.
I probably have 50 hats, and I think I got rid of half of them last year. But what's funny is I probably wear 3 of them.
That's the thing.
1,000%.
We were talking about that at Stately Olsen the other day because it's like spring and you want to purge stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time.
It's true. It's true. My wife lets me know that every single day, where she'll go into my closet and she'll find something she gave me for Christmas that still has the tags on it.
Yeah, it's like you haven't gotten around to it. No.
You like what you like.
I don't even wear hats, and I probably have almost 2 dozen.
Oh yeah,
I don't even wear them.
It's
You
the
know,
one
and they
thing.
just take up room. It's like,
My wife will argue with me all the time. She goes, this whole thing, because she had to get the whole clipping deal to store all the hats.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now you can see all of them. She goes, I don't know that I've ever seen you wear this one. I definitely know I've never seen you wear this one. But I grab the ones that I don't put back there. As long as it's left on the floor, then I can grab it. And it's a lot easier for me to go pick up.
Good thing I don't have a wife. She doesn't complain about it.
My answer to that would be, all right, let's take a stroll through your shoe closet.
Well, exactly.
100%. Let me go get that.
How many pairs of different
Rubbermaid
variations
container.
of black shoes do you have? Then how many do you need? Well, that's it. Dolph, Badgers, Frozen 4, taking over Vegas another day. Vegas better stock up and get more shipments of Miller Lite for the Badgers fans.
Right.
Now, the advantage the Badgers have is that they played the first game, so they get more rest, and they didn't go into double overtime.
True. Yeah.
That Denver-Michigan game was one for the ages.
Huge.
Now, what does Denver have left in the tank to face the Badgers?
They're pretty damn good. I watched that game until I went to bed last night. But Denver's good. That's what I love about the NCAA, not only the Frozen Four, but the hockey tournament in general. You see schools that you normally don't see in March Madness or in football.
Mm-hmm.
And Denver is a D1 they have a D1 basketball
They do.
team. You just never hear about them. But in hockey, they're looking for 3 out of the last 5 when it comes to titles, and they've won 10 or 11 overall. Send a
Some
ton
of
of
them
guys
like
to-
7 of the last 10 Frozen Fours or something like that. A crazy number.
In my high school days, I had a lot of literature from Denver.
Did you?
They were. I don't know why they not recruiting me as an athlete, but as a student. Like I got a lot of brochures and pamphlets. Hey, come to Denver.
I got a lot. Cool. I got a lot of those too. It just had a weird stamp on the back of it. I don't know. I didn't know that they had a green an alternate logo.
Yeah,
classic. I didn't know anything about that school. Now, my wife is born and raised in Colorado Springs, and they have a tiny school that's D3 in most things, but also good in hockey, Colorado College, which is in the Springs.
That was a WCHA staple.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Yeah.
Badgers, UND, Colorado College.
Yeah.
Denver,
Small, tiny
the old
school. in the
WCHA.
Springs. Yes, so, and they're good at hockey too. So that's what I love about this tournament. You've got schools in the UP that normally sports-wise aren't relevant, but when it comes to hockey season, they're damn good.
Denver has an enrollment of like 6,600 undergrad and like about the same amount of graduate students. So like 12,000 students like total.
So it's like Duke or Notre Dame.
It's like, and that's, and it's a private school. So they were just looking for any slap that could fog a mirror. That's why they were sending me stuff.
That's going to pay the check.
I looked at it like, hey, campus looks cool. It'd be cool to go to Colorado.
It'd be a sweet spot to go to school.
Denver's awesome.
Very, very fun town. That would be one that you could actually though study because there's a lot of stuff going on. It does feel like Nashville where everybody's moving there. So there's going to be plenty of stuff to do. But everybody's focused on their own lives over there as well.
You got big league sports. You've got outdoor activities. If you love hiking or scenery or mountains, you're going to be in heaven there. Rocky Mountain National Park, just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
That's a tough one to pass up. Like that would be because there's certain places you go to ASU, you go anywhere in Arizona, probably out in a year and a half, right? Probably going to be bumped out of here at some point. Denver would force you to go to school. However, it would also force me to be more of an outdoors guy. Maybe I'd be starting to call it Wisco or something like that.
Yeah, maybe
looking in at random, lakeshore summer nights.
Yeah, or you could go up the street to Boulder to University of Colorado or Fort Collins has Colorado State. Those are two great towns not far from Denver as well, kind of in the Denver metro.
Yeah, closer than the Denver airport is to.
Right.
Very much.
Yeah.
So
I used to when I lived out west, I flew a lot more, and you'd always go through Stapleton International Airport, which was in the city of Denver. You're right, Drew.
Yeah. Denver International.
It's 1,000 miles from nowhere, man, out on the prairie.
Like, and it is a massive complex.
It is.
It's massive, but man, that drive into the city takes forever. Well,
it does.
It's like one of the cities that takes longer to get from the airport to the city than O'Hare.
It's true. It's true. It's a good airport to get stuck in, though, if you're laid over.
Yeah,
there's a lot to eat.
For sure.
Yeah, it is ginormous.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not exactly convenient.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Not one of my favorites.
I made that mathematical decision, and I was trying to, line it up economically of, do I take the $29 Frontier flight to Vegas that stops in the Denver airport for 12 hours? I'm like, well, if there was one to be stuck for 12 hours, it might be the Denver airport. I might also lose more money there than I would in Vegas for that 12 hours, but we'll figure it out.
Probably true.
You just don't want to jump in a cab and, tour the city because there's no city out that way.
Nothing. You're fine. Nope.
Probably not. How did the round of golf go?
It got really freaking cold.
Man, it did.
I imagine. I left my house. It was 62 degrees. And by the middle of our round last night, we played at Oakwood I keep wanting to say Oak Creek, but it's actually Franklin.
Yeah.
The feels like temperature was like 42.
Oh, man.
And we wind but it was fun. It was good to be out there for the first time.
It was biting. It was deceiving because it was sunny out, but it was like deceivingly cold.
Tough to get loose.
I believe it. But you didn't have to wait at any holes, probably, right?
Not at all. There was a decent crowd out there,
but you were paced and you were able to.
Exactly, and the course was in good shape. So, and we got to ride. That's the important thing. We don't play if we don't ride. And they had golf carts.
And then double up and watch the Masters and watch guys really play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, round 2 probably already underway, or it will be shortly.
I was going to say it should be starting up here pretty soon.
Firing up pretty soon. Yeah, we don't have Amazon Prime in here though. I don't think.
I was gonna say we got 9 channels to figure out where it would be, but we'll get it in here.
Not the easiest.
Anybody going to the Bucks game tonight? Giannis has already been ruled out.
I know. That's why we're all headed for the Brewers game instead.
Yeah. Here's the best thing about Buck. It's fan appreciation night. $20 tickets are going to give you a $10 food and bev.
What do you get for $10 though?
Popcorn,
a soda,
80% of a beer,
80% of a beer.
And I love this. They're doing a giveaway where I guess you scan a QR on your seat. You're going to win 2 tickets to everything at 5 Star Forum over the next year.
That's pretty cool.
Whoa, that is a golden ticket.
Yeah, really is. Every game, every concert, everything.
That's
pretty cool.
Man.
That's pretty sweet. And they're giving away Bango bobbleheads too.
Does that include the NML corporate gigs and stuff like that?
I doubt it.
They bring in Seinfeld or they bring in
Kenny Chesney, Zach Brown.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that.
That's a big deal.
That is awesome.
Good stuff. All right, well, we're going to have another national championship. Wisconsin's going to be the home of hockey.
Yes. Big Ten dominates everything.
That will happen tomorrow.
Hang it.
And then we've got the Brewers and the Nationals this weekend. Dolph, thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it as always. Have yourself a great weekend.
You too.
Continue to hit them straight. Keep them
stay warm out there.
And stay warm out there. That's
straight sideways.
Yeah, straight sideways.
Jacket while you're playing.
We'll continue to take your thoughts. Fashion, we're talking a little draft. We're talking about
fashionable guys to be talking fashion.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
chopped away from the forward by Palanichuk, and now Joe with possession back in the Wisconsin zone. 6:43 to go. Lead feed. Here's Botterill. Got behind the defense. He'll step one off. He scores! Oh, Ryan Botterill! It's 2-0 Wisconsin.
Brian Posick loving life with the Badgers at the Frozen Four in Las Vegas as they take it to Nodak.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And especially jump on him right early in the first period like that. Just score instantly and then hold on for dear life and then be able to slap. Drew, I do like that the slapping the sticker or the nameplate onto the bracket. That's just all over every tournament now. That's true. NCAA said this is our thing. So now everybody's doing it, and they got the video of Ben Dexheimer doing it. And now we got to figure out how we make these magnets actually stick when you throw it on there and it doesn't bounce off, because it kills a little bit of the excitement. But good to be able to move on to the next round, and hopefully good to move on for us to be able to celebrate a national title, first time since 2006. A school wins the men's and women's Frozen Fours. Badgers try to do it since the first time since the Badgers 20 years ago in 2006.
Exactly. 877-794-1973, your ticket to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. As mentioned, we are also streaming on Facebook, X, and the YouTube. And if you're online, have your phone handy, check out GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Stop by the Brookfield location of Game Day. Talked to Sarah for a while yesterday. She was educating me on the talk of the fitness industry is peptides.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these different stacks and combinations. There's a Wolverine stack, and people are finding out that it isn't, this doesn't alter your hormones, but it helps maximize what you're already got, what you're already working with. It can help you with your sleep. It can help you curbs appetite, and it enhances metabolism. There's all different cocktails, she was telling me, of things of people who have different goals. There are guys in the gym who are using it to bulk, who are using peptides to bulk and then to lean out. Like, I'm not at that point. I just want to break even.
Sure.
My whole thing when it comes to working out is I want to make room for cheeseburgers and beer.
I want to be able to enjoy my Saturdays.
Exactly. So that's the thing. But whatever your goals are, and whatever, you're not maximizing your time on this planet if you're allowing yourself to be run down, tired, foggy, not getting good sleep. There are ways to help, and that's why you got to go get that initial consult, go see Game Day Men's Health, learn about their services, testosterone replacement therapy, weight loss, whatever your goals are, they can help you. And that's why they're so successful. That's why they're so busy. And that's why there are clinics all over the place. Find one near you at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Sign up today, change your life, get back in the game with Game Day Men's Health.
I also love that you mentioned it a little bit yesterday too, that Game Day Men's Health, people are always saying like, well, that's not rude. What about Game Day Women's
What about
Health?
women?
I know they're leaning and getting close to being ready.
There will be,
doing
because that women's hormone therapy stuff has been going on forever, and everybody's different, and everybody's, but one size definitely doesn't fit all. But it would be nice if you could,
getting to know what makes your own body tick is a thing that you just, especially later in life, gotta be able to solve it. And there's too much science out there to not at least educate yourself on it.
Our thing now with our sleep patterns, yesterday was a nap day for me, and then it's harder to fall asleep later in the day. It's like, whoa. So I still am in power through mode. I think I'm better when I just stay up.
Yeah,
Dolph is the king.
Too.
He's been doing this forever, and he naps every day, which smart, if it works for you.
I'm going to potentially test out the nap today, depending on how the little one naps, because we got a big zoo class today and a Brewers later on tonight. So it is a banner day in the doubleheader in the Schmidt household. So I'm definitely going to try to squeeze in a nap, but this is also where I need to go and have the conversation, because you want to talk about dragging just a little bit. If you're not maximizing, keeping yourself, I don't know, like Wolverine stack, it might just call it Badger stack, or maybe there's a different stack that people can find and enjoy. They'll be able to solve it for everybody.
That's right. The Wolverine stack. Yeah. Didn't work for them in double overtime.
Stack that in a double OTL last night.
And are you like in some ways rooting for Denver in that matchup because they're the Pioneers, Pios?
Drew, I'm glad you said that, because I did find myself saying go Pios a couple of times.
Go Pios.
Even though I don't necessarily know. They said that it was an upset because Michigan was the number 1 overall seed. Denver looks like a wagon. So it was one of those going to be a devil you know, devil you don't know kind of deal. Do we want to have a double Big Ten championship and another version of a Big Ten title game for the Natty, or get to beat somebody in their own house? And it does feel like the Frozen Four is Denver's house. Definitely. So if you're going to be able to win it, the right one to be able to take. Varsity app, being able to listen to Brian Posey call that game winner or call the game ending moments where he's calling the game. Also he goes, and now there's 0 seconds. And it's over. The sudden shock of, holy cow, it's finally over, and you got one more game to hoist the cup.
That last minute was the longest minute of the season, no question.
3.5 minutes of empty net. Goodness gracious.
One more hour of the Huddle this week. Let's get after it. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. I'm Doug Russell. Wisconsin owns college hockey.
6:43 to go. Lead feed. Here's Botterill. Got behind the defense. He'll step one off. He scores! Oh, Ryan Botterill! It's 2-0 Wisconsin.
Ryan Posick on the play-by-play. Last month, the Wisconsin women win the national championship. Now the men will have a chance at a title, too. In the national semifinal, Wisconsin wins over North Dakota 2-1. The Badgers will play for the championship tomorrow afternoon against Denver. They beat Michigan 4-3 in overtime on the other side of the bracket. To golf, first round of the Masters in the books. Defending champion Rory McIlroy with a share of the lead at -5, along with Sam Burns. Jason Day, Patrick Reed, and Kurt Kitayama are all at -3, 2 shots off the pace. The Brewers off on Thursday. They welcome in the Nationals tonight. The Bucks host the Nets tonight, Milwaukee's last home game of the year. Their lost season ends on Sunday at Philly. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you. You need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddle.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to down to. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after him and make the play.
Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Friday edition, the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on that iHeart app. You can get us on Facebook, YouTube, and X for the stream. And you can also find us wherever podcasts are found, iHeartRadio app for sure, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. We're everywhere. Where aren't we?
Well, I like what they say that wherever you get your podcast. The only place that we're not is potentially at Bucks Nets here tonight, because I think there's gonna be a lot of people, Drew, that had the dreams and the aspirations and the want to go and see Giannis one final time. Bucks ruled him out. He will not be available tonight. I do wonder though if maybe we'll get the video and we'll get all the feels that we would have if you were in the arena tonight. He just grabs that microphone and gives a little 30 seconds before tip-off.
That would be something.
I would love it. Just give the thank you to everybody. We know it's been a tough season. We love all of you. You guys know how much I love Milwaukee. Thanks for riding with us.
I was in the house Sunday for the Alex to Thanasis alley-oop.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if they just let them play together one time, even if it's just like ceremonial, like the first tip to the first whistle, start them all and then pull Giannis after that.
And send somebody up to the scorer's table right after tip-off.
Yeah, not going to happen. Bucks stay in the course. It's actually the right thing to do. Like, you haven't played them this long, playing them in this game. Plus, there's the cloud of the NBA investigation. Like,
that's the toughest thing. Mm-hmm. And if that gets flared up, you don't know. As much as I don't think that this really was ever about tanking, I do believe it was more about the health of Giannis. Now, tanking might have also been coinciding with it, and it kind of helps.
Well, it's not. I think it's more protecting Giannis and the trade asset.
And the trade asset that could potentially go than them tanking for
moving up a ping pong ball or getting a 3% better chance of getting the 6th pick. That ain't in the calculus as much as if this guy gets hurt, we're screwed.
Right. Then we can't get anything for him. And then we walk into maybe the most uncomfortable divorce of all time. So I'm with you. It just, to me, never was about them getting the 9th best odds compared to the 11th best odds. But it was about him being healthy going forward, because he had 5 injuries this year. And he was continually hampered, seemingly every time he got back. he had something else. And like, and that's one where maybe you just go with a clean slate and start over with it. But, you know, Adam Silver has just got way too many people calling for way too many things on his plate, right? Like, I heard Nick Wright saying he needs to make an executive order in terms of like the 65 game rule and the tanking and what the Jazz are doing on a night in and night out basis, what the Kings just pulled the other night. The last thing you want to do is give the NBA office an excuse for Milwaukee to be the one that they make an example of, right? Like you got all these other teams doing some heinous tanking models. But what I do believe is we all watched the Bogan Bogdanovic situation where everybody tampers. They call it in the NFL the legal tampering window. And instead it was like, Bucks, let's dock them a draft pick and $100K. Let's make sure we make an example out of them. I don't want you to give the NBA office any reason to try to put that on you. So just let him say goodbye to the crowd. Let him have his moment, and then we'll enjoy it.
That would be nice. 877-794-1973. A lot of attention will be on the Brewers Nationals. First National League foe for the Brewers.
How weird is that for you to say?
Very weird as we roll into the third week of the season.
Is that stranger than UCLA and USC and Oregon being Big Ten battles?
It's in the same discussion, basically. But Brewers tonight with their new City Connects Wisco jerseys. Chad Patrick on the hill. This is a good time, as good a time as any, to hear our preview of the Brewers weekend.
Come on now.
From our buddy Hunter Baumgart, our go-to guy when it comes to all things Brewers. Take it away, Hunter.
Thanks, guys. The Milwaukee Brewers getting set for a 3-game home series against the Washington Nationals. Starting tonight at American Family Field, 6:40 first pitch. Chad Patrick on the mound for the Crew. Now, the Brewers did make some changes when it comes to the probables for this weekend. Originally, it was going to be Brandon Sproat tomorrow and Kyle Harrison on Sunday. But they have made a switch and put Kyle Harrison is now the probable starter on Saturday, tomorrow, and then Brandon Woodruff is now the probable starter for Sunday, taking Brandon Sproat out. We don't know the reasoning, but we will wait to hear more information from Brewers manager Pat Murphy when we meet with him this afternoon, and I'll have everything covered with the latest news on the baseball pregame show coming to you at 5:30 this evening on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee. Now, the Washington Nationals have scored 71 runs this season so far. That is the second most in the NL, but they've given up the most runs at 78. The next closest is the Cardinals at 62. So the pitching has not been great for the Nationals. We'll see if the Brewers can get that offense back to hot this weekend against a struggling Washington pitching staff. This video brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Talk to you on the baseball pregame show at 5:30 this evening. Back to you guys.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Hunter Baumgart.
Thank you for preemptively driving me to the ballpark later on tonight. Drew, Hunter's an intuitive cat. All right.
He is.
There's certain players and positions on teams, offensive line a lot of times. They're there to raise the team GPA. Hunter makes all of our IQ be raised when he's in the building. So was that planned to do the video right in front of the sweet sunset picture that he had behind him?
Probably.
Did he decide that he was going to move that after he watched the State Connects yesterday? Man, that's a smart cat right there. That is a well-timed pivot from our guy Hunter Baumgart. That's savvy stuff.
Dave Gasper was playing a little Rate My Room on Skype there. That was a thing during the pandemic. Rate My Skype Room.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Rate My Room. He was impressed that Hunter, being the single successful guy, has some artwork on his walls.
Yeah.
You listen, he's like, listen, I would class this place up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have some sort of artwork.
Dave, so you're not saying that when you get that into the bachelor pad, you're just going to have the big old pictures of like a Wisconsin sunset there up there to set the mood?
Probably not. I got a Godzilla movie poster that I had up in mine. American flag, Brewers flag, kind of, your typical standard, bachelor pad kind of stuff. I got a Wonder Woman movie poster as well.
Oh, there you go.
They got Gal Gadot hanging up there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why it's up there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I like that. See, that sets the mood that we're here for business.
Yes.
We like sports.
Yeah.
Well played. 877-794-1973. Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not, presented by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Lots of candidates for that. Billy, what you got?
Who's hot? The Wisconsin Badgers rolling themselves into the Frozen Four championship game coming up tomorrow afternoon. 4 o'clock face-off, I believe, right? I saw 5 Eastern, I believe.
Yeah,
4 o'clock face-off, 2 o'clock Vegas time if you're flying out there to go and meet the boys and buzz with the boys into the title game. Who would be in the not category, Drew? Let's go to Augusta National. Let's go all the way down here. One of my favorite things after enjoying the Masters tournament yesterday for round 1 is not to see the leaderboard. It's to see who had maybe the worst of the days. Your boy Davis Riley fired in a 10 over par 82 yesterday. Mike Weir, people might recognize that name. Brian Harmon, tough day at 7 over par. Former champion Vijay Singh at 7 over par. And then somebody that was second to third best odds to win the event at whatever institution you look at. Soon it'll be the Potawatomi Sportsbook Mobilely, as that got signed yesterday by Governor Evers. There you're sitting with John Rahm at 6 over par, tied with Freddie Couples. Now, you get to see the former champions playing in the Masters. Rarely do you see somebody make it to Sunday. I think we saw Freddie Couples be a factor kind of on Sunday last year. Instead, now he's playing down here with John Rahm, 6 over par. The good ones yesterday, Sam Burns, Rory McIlroy were 5 over. Looked like Patrick Reed was going to just take it off the sheet when he had 2 eagles on the first 9, but 2 bogeys on the second 9 may have ruined his day. So the folks getting out to Augusta National this morning might be more into the hot category. And then one other one that I enjoyed being able to throw in here and might hear something a little bit later on. Cole Caulfield, talk about in the hot category, hit his 50th goal of the season yesterday. And when you start stacking up seasons of 50 goal performers in the NHL, the list of former Badgers is good, but it's not as vast as many people think. Like, that is a hell of a feat for Cole to have. The best part, who's hot, was the video department that caught Paul Caulfield, his dad, in a Brewers cap at the game, crying when he got to see the son put the 50th goal in the back of the net. That is an amazing, amazing moment yesterday.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. That was fantastic. And so is Donovan Jorgensen, go-to guys for heating and cooling.
And they're going to be out in the city
for 40 years.
They're going to be out. You're going to see their trucks in the city, and you might as well just go to donovanjorgensen.com to be a part of the craze, because like you mentioned, employee owned for 40 years. That means they know what they're doing. And that means that you're going to get an owner to come out and help you out. A lot more vested care in the work that they're doing. DonovanJorgensen.com.
Check them out. 877-794-1973, the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. There was an interesting question, as you know, we just heard Hunter's Brewers update about on a chat that Todd Rosiak did at jsonline.com. And someone asked, in the wake of like the Wilson Contreras stuff and Woodruff hitting him, and there was nothing really happened with that.
Sure.
But he asked, who's the Brewers enforcer? Who's their tough guy? And Rosiak said, well, they've been more focused on winning games than fighting in recent years.
Yeah.
And he said, like, 2 of the biggest things that the fights that he covered were Carlos Gomez centered.
So good. Yeah.
Not a guy you'd want to tangle with.
No.
Carlos.
Garrett Cole learned that lesson.
Yeah. Carlos Gomez. But he said he would put William Contreras on that list and Trevor McGill as the enforcers, guys you wouldn't want to mess with.
Yeah, and I kind of think I would have put Trevor McGill into that category when I heard about the poor, what was it, AT&T sales girl that had to see him fall right in front of her at the shop when he fainted the one time. Like that's 6'8", nearly 300 pounds falling down. That's a tough sight in front of you. I would have thought maybe Gary Sanchez would be in there.
Yeah, he did mention him too because he's a big dude, and nothing happened with Contreras and all that, right?
No, but it does feel like also Gary would be like a little slow to the party. And we wouldn't be right in there like Walt Weiss, being able to get the tackle right out of the gates. I don't know. He might have been more of the cleanup crew to be able to roll through. I would put the skeptical one, the Ozzy Weisblatt or the Oasis Weisblatt of this team to enjoy and invoke our Milwaukee Admirals in there. Maybe not the enforcer, the big cat that's coming in to fight, but my man that would always be in there to pick the fight and be one of the first to get into the scrap. Sal Frelick ain't going to be one of the last guys in there.
That's what Rosiak said. I think Sal Frelick would be a Tasmanian devil.
He would be in there instantly mixing something up. And he's not trying to separate the boys.
If he was on the 26-man roster, Rosiak said Akil Baddoo would be a good pick as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does look jacked up from the pictures that we got to see.
He does.
Do.
Yeah.
That's a well put together young man. I can't imagine the general milling around crowd that is mostly what baseball fights would be. Would that be headlined by Yelich and Terang there, kind of just coasting off to the side?
Around, yeah.
They're just kind of hanging off to the edge.
Just chilling.
Where are
just
you guys
chilling.
playing tomorrow?
Yeah, kind of that kind of deal. No question.
California cool.
Tough thing about McGill is he's got to do the bullpen fight where you run in
you
from
gotta sprint in and then
and it's generally broken up by the time they get in.
It is always funny that they don't just stop and scrap right in front of the bullpen.
I thought they should do it out in center field every time.
Yeah, bullpens run in. And also, speaking of scrappers from the bullpen, let's not forget Abner Uribe, who has started a fight in his day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fair one.
He's a pretty wild one too. Yeah.
Swinging some heavy fists. It didn't land any heavy fists.
No, didn't land them.
But he was swinging them. That's true. That's fair.
Yeah. A lot of times it is the catcher who has to,
has to get in there and
hog tie somebody.
You think of Jason Varitek and A-Rod and just putting the glove right in his face.
I would have loved to see. Now, there probably some on YouTube. Jason Kendall ever really get into some good scraps? Because that would have been.
He was a hard-nosed guy, but I don't know if he was that much of a scrapper. That'd be a good question for Wags because he played with him and knows him.
Right.
So.
Like I'm starting to think of the different guys throughout baseball history that I put in there. The number one at the top of my list of the do not mess with list was always Yadi Molina because he has the number one tag. I'm not messing with cats with neck tats, right? Like if you are man enough to put ink right there on your neck and live through that,
artery,
there's no shot that I'm worried about what my right fist is going to do.
That's a good point.
It's just like one thing that I always wanted to live by, and if I see that, it's gonna be, hey, how you doing? Keep it moving.
Another back in the day, Phil Garner reference for you when they were buzzing the tower and they were always having dust ups against the White Sox. We said something about, aren't you worried about somebody charging the mound? He goes, that's the last thing I worry about because Mike Matheny was the catcher then. He's like, that guy's not going to get a step in front of the plate. Matheny will have him down and he'll be wailing on him.
Begging for
because
mercy.
Matheny was a tough guy from Michigan, University of Michigan man. And he was,
it was never going to be shy from getting into it.
And the guy who took a 97 mile an hour Rich Loisel fastball to the chops and didn't even take a knee. Just walked to the dugout spitting blood.
That is next
and played the next day.
And played the next
that dude.
day.
Yeah, he was. They didn't have to worry about that because Matheny would have taken care of it.
Yeah, another good one behind the plate, Martin Maldonado. Remember when he punched Travis Snyder right in the face during that fight with the Pirates?
A thick individual too. So he jumps over the wall, right? Like kind of over the fence. He's like, I am not missing this.
No, he got there as fast as he could for being a catcher.
It's a part of it. You do need somebody that's got the willingness and the pent up frustration to take out on something and somebody. You got to make sure that you are being able to find the right individuals that want to. That's why Gogo was always in the mix. Because he wanted to be in the mix.
He wanted that smoke.
Brian McCann behind the dish. He was the one that started the one. Not letting Gomez get all the way to home plate, right? And then, okay, so we're gonna do this right here.
Yeah,
so we're
do it right here, right now.
Right
Let's
here,
go.
right now. Okay, sounds good.
Martin Maldonado, funny mention of his name. When he rolled up early on in his Brewers tenure, he's called up kind of like basically a fringe guy backup.
Yeah,
but he was giving guys
26th guy.
They discovered a skill. He was giving guys haircuts. Like they set up a little barber shop in the shower, and he was like the team barber when he got called up. This is like 2010, 11, somewhere in that neighborhood. And it's like we used to joke. He's like, he's the team barber. They got to keep him around. He's tightening up everybody's fade. He's got the clippers and guys, he's cutting guys' hair. While he's getting ready for the game.
Big time part of the squad.
And we joked about it, but the dude ended up playing in 15 years in ball.
Winning a title, right?
Yeah,
I think he was
hitting like 182 every single year.
World Series champion. He's interesting.
Still giving out fresh fades.
Interesting cat. Yeah, he was a defensive specialist. He was quite an interesting cat, but yeah, great dude.
That is
Maldi was a great dude.
I think that's one of my favorite stories from you in the locker room of being able to find somebody that was doubling as the team barber while also being the defensive catching specialist.
Can't send him down. Everybody's hair will go bad. You got to look good.
We got way too much swag.
We can't let
anybody
good.
change this.
Right? You got to look good to play good.
And listen, if you play good, they'll pay good. Maybe not here, but they'll pay good somewhere. And I do also like the fact that the Brewers were like, we can get some hidden value here. Player and team barber. Sweet. So
we don't have to pay him any extra.
We don't have to pay him any extra. We don't have to get any changes in here. We don't have to bring the guy with us on any road trips. We have to bring this one. That makes a lot of sense. And you could just stuff all of his gear right into his catching bag. I love being able to find somebody that would also do that. We had a friend text in Matt Albers for an alumni version. I thought Matt Albers was one of the nicest guys in the world. Like, you need somebody with a little more Seth McClung in them if we're going to go full alumni list to get into the version here. But yeah, I appreciate that people are finding out a number of different ones. Man, Ben Sheets didn't back down from Aramis Ramirez way back in the day.
No, Benny was he had that streak.
He was ready. He was ready to tango.
Yeah, he definitely had that Louisiana streak, no doubt. Hey, Orthopedic Associates Wisconsin is your one-stop shop for all things. If you have a sports injury or if you have a chronic nagging issue, as I did, shout out to Dr. Matthew Bong, because I didn't send him a card or anything. But Wednesday was the 2-year anniversary of my hip replacement at Orthopedic Associates Wisconsin, orthowisconsin.com. The best in the business, world-class care right here, close to home. If you have any malady, don't limp around like a dumbass like I did. We talk about golfing and enjoying life. It's getting to be warm out. You want to be taking care of things. Get them on your radar, orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Checking this one out, coming through on day 2 of the Masters. Joe Pompolino, the guy from Front Office Sports that writes a bunch of different newsletters and sports business. Drew, I don't know that the Brewers team store was doing this well yesterday with the Wisco gear. Might have been close. The Masters will do how much in merchandise sales do you believe coming up this weekend?
Well, I mean, it's staggering because they get $100 for a golf shirt. So I don't know. It's millions and millions, tens of millions.
This estimation is $70 million in merchandise sales this week.
Because that's the only place you can get it. You gotta have guys like,
you're shipping it back and going, that's hilarious.
Gary D'Amato would cover it every year at the Journal Sentinel, and people would give him orders like, hey, here's my cash. Go get me. And he would mule stuff back out of the store.
It's remarkable. It's that estimation is 25 million more in merchandise than the Atlanta Braves did all of last year. Right. I mean, with no online sales, and the store is like, it's not the pop-up tent store that usually you think you're seeing at one of these spots. They got anything known to man. Apparently they have an individual gnome each year that is one of the quickest things to sell. But that breaks down to about $1 million an hour.
Liking it.
About $1 million an hour. My guess is the cashiers aren't making enough of that rate.
Oh,
but that's impressive stuff.
If you've been to like one of the PGAs or the Ryder Cups, if you've been around, that they do brisk business.
They're flowing people in and out of it. That is intense
Big
work
time.
that they're having this
Big
week.
Time. Absolutely. 877-794-1973, your ticket to interact with us. Possibility that Paul Wagner joins us next?
Possibility if Paul Wagner joins us next.
We'll do appear. Paul Wagner, not entirely sure.
Yeah.
We will we'll try to hook up with Wags. If not, we got plenty to talk about. As always, it's the Friday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling through a Friday in the good land. Drew and Billy bringing it to you. The Huddle. Dave Gasper in for Armin. He'll be back next week after he's now the mayor of Vegas. He's
running for Clark County office, I've heard. Yes.
He's got residency. He's going to be voting in their elections.
Getting his mail sent there.
Yeah. He was there with Zabe. He's there with Lara. He loves him some Vegas.
Well,
and that's the most unlikely thing, too, because I remember when Armin went to Vegas for the first time.
I was going to say, you were probably priming the pump for him to get out there for the first time.
Absolutely.
And there was a lot of nervous energy, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I don't want to spend any money.
I don't want to spend any money because he's so cheap. And Vegas, the cheap part of it is now gone.
Right? Very much so, yes.
In the era of $10 Miller Lights and $8 bottles of water and resort fees and everything. They got to get back to that.
They got to get back to where you and I stayed when we went out there for Packers and Raiders at the old downtown Grand. Like they had the $2.50 beer and hot dog deal that you could get, actual $5 tables. Now you're one block off of Fremont. However, new rooms. It's like, sweet. That's the place to be going to go to.
A good spot. We love us some Circa. Circa's got a deal going in the summer that's pretty sweet.
Well, and that's the deal. You're starting to see more of these places come up with all inclusive, or the Circa one I think is $400 for 2 nights. You get a $100 food credit, $100 beverage credit, and you also get a day bed at the Circa Swim. Now the idea is you're going to go there and you're going to play and you're going to have some money and you're going to potentially spend some back, but you're going to get a bunch of opportunity there for some value, and it's a
Sunday through Thursday, $400, $100 dining credit, $100 beverage credit, and the little bed at Stadium Swim. That's a pretty good deal.
Yes, and
it's a pretty good Vegas deal. You can have some fun there.
And there's but now also too the Flamingo, I think, those ones in Caesars. We're starting an all-inclusive one because you only have a limited vacation budget. And I think, Drew, even yesterday when the governor signs the deal here to allow legalized online sports wagering through the casino of the hub and spoke method, where you'd have the server where all of the wagers would be placed at Potawatomi Casino. People can bet legally on their devices inside of the state. I think the gambling budget that people would set aside for, all right, that's my Vegas fund, that one might get played around with because you can go to Potawatomi and be in a sports book that's better than 90% of the ones there. But it now becomes more of the vacation budget, and competing with all inclusives is something that you always have to be able to do. And it seems like we're not going to ever get back to, we comp a bunch of stuff, but maybe if you give us a bunch of money up front, then you can find as many valuable deals as you can after here by just drinking and partying yourself away.
I mean, the proliferation of great casinos like our friends at Pato, and then the availability of cannabis products elsewhere.
That's a part of it. Yep.
The Sin City, when there's sin everywhere, what's great about Vegas, right? Yeah, still the strip and the shows, but I mean, you love it there as much as I do, and Armin's loving it, but they do need to kind of reinvent and get back to some of the
could not agree with you more, dude.
The things that made it attractive. Get back to your roots. Buffets.
And it does seem like the buffets are one that they've tried to, at least. Everyone's now going to fire one of them up, but it just isn't this. It's never going to be the same as it used to be. But I think that they can get it back somewhere in the middle where it doesn't feel like you're getting nickel and dimed all over the place, right? I think that's where people will get frustrated at saying, all right, I don't think that I'm being cheap here. I'm just trying to.
My $29 room cost me $140 a night.
Yeah, I'm just trying to know what I'm going to be spending before I land, so then I know how much fun I can have throughout the week.
Exactly.
It's also, we talked a little bit about Nashville. They're seeing an infusion there where Blake Shelton put up a bar in Las Vegas. It did great. Now Luke Combs is going to have one. Now Jason Aldean's going to have one. Now Las Vegas in the travel industry is almost like the NFL in sports leagues. Copycat league. Oh, that worked. We need one of those. Oh, people like Gordon Ramsay spots? We need to get a Gordon Ramsay spot. Oh, we need people like Bobby Flay? Let's get a Bobby Flay spot in here. So I've also gotten a number of pictures from Armin saying that he's tracking right now the progress of the big guitar that the Hard Rock is putting up, where the MGM is. And he then immediately yesterday was measuring up the Caesars LED board. It's like, I think it's a race to see who can get bigger. I'm like, pause. All right. I don't know that we need any versions of the races and the size matters conversations when we're talking about LED boards out here, but I think it'll work. I also think the building of the new stadium out there, as much as we got to see the football stadium, how it is, that is still across the freeway, right? Like you still have to walk over and through. It's not the easiest one to get to. That thing being right on Las Vegas Boulevard is going to liven up that end of the street.
Oh, no question. That is going to be, and then an attraction in the summer when people want to go see the Red Sox, the Yankees, the
big
Mets,
time, built-in 81 days of vacation and tourism.
Hey, we put up the bat signal, and we got a pitcher grabbing a bat for us. It's Paul Wagner, our pal, pitcher coach of the Dock Hounds, former big leaguer, friend of the program. Wags, good morning. Welcome to the Huddle.
Good morning. It is, boys. It is early. Luckily, it is that time of year. This is turkey season. This is turkey season for you outdoorsmen. You guys aren't, but I'm an outdoorsman, so my early mornings are early mornings. So this is the season to talk to the Huddle early in the morning.
Okay, so now Wags, might not be an outdoors guy, but I want to be a part of the squad. Is the turkey hunt the one for me to get into first? Because everyone's like, you got to go to deer camp. Wags, it's way too damn cold. And I don't know that I can be up in a tree stand as a pear-shaped adult. So is the turkey one the one for me to dip my toes into and join?
Well, that might be a good one. Armin's got everybody beat. As crazy as this sounds, Armin has put together our intro to our podcast, and I think Armin, of all people, would know a little bit more about our hunting scene. But for yours, Billy, I think that might be a good idea. I think you might be on the ground. You may be a ground blind guy.
You got me fully engulfed. That's exactly what I'm not getting any elevation to be able to find these animals. They'll still be able to hear me because I'm making the tree crack as I'm sitting up there. So
and Drew is definitely not a hunter. Drew,
definitely.
No. Drew is not the hunter.
We're the cabin guys.
Yeah,
we've said that. We said that a lot for deer camp, Drew. I'd love to cook on the Blackstone and wait for everybody to come back. We got breakfast ready over here.
I'll be firing that up when you get back.
We got Bloody Marys and Blackstone. You guys go and get the venison. We'll cook it up.
As long as it's cold and we can watch TV.
It'll work
I'll be
out.
Inside. Yeah. Wags, we got questions for you, my friend. First of all, we were talking about there's a little line in a Q&A that Todd Rosiak did at JS Online. Who's the Brewers enforcer? Who would be the tough guy? Because they had that little dust up with Wilson Contreras.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing came of it, but it begged the question, who would be the Brewers enforcer? And the guys that TR mentioned were William Contreras and Trevor McGill were kind of and like Sal Frelick maybe as the Tasmanian Devil. And Billy wanted to know, was Jason Kendall a badass? We know he was a hard-nosed player, but was he one of those guys you wouldn't want to scrap with?
Absolutely not. Jason Kendall, no, absolutely. I mean, you absolutely do not want to mess with Jason Kendall. Rumor had it on the street afterwards, after his career, he's a Malibu guy. So Jason Kendall goes back out to Cali and he teams up with Mike Piazza. Again, this is strictly rumor. Him and Mike Piazza open up an MMA knuckle fighting UFC training facility out there. And I tell you what, with tattoos, drinking Bud Light, staying up all night, getting hit over 3,000 times in a big league uniform, Jason Kendall is not the guy you want to mess with. No,
my God,
not at all.
Just warmed all parts of my heart.
I mean, he looked like
so happy.
He looked like the guy that's not the most imposing physical specimen, but you see him like in a prison lineup or something. You're not messing with him.
I'm walking straight away from him.
I'm averting my eyes. Yeah, he had that.
He's the guy. Yeah, exactly. He's the guy that takes like 17 bullets to the chest and he keeps coming at you, and you're like, well, "What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?"
Yeah, I've never seen people. You mentioned getting hit over 300 times. I don't know. I've ever seen somebody's right arm just left arm eat fastballs like Jason Kendall's. Even though Wilson Contreras tries to Wags on the leaning in deal, and I can assume there was a way of being able to handle that at some particular point in time. I don't know that anybody ate enough fastballs like Jason Kendall did off the armor.
No, and Kendall played it like it was a mosquito bite. Contreras is like all complaining. He gets barely nicked. Hell, I would have used the review on that, because if it scraped the pad at all, I mean, he didn't. I mean, come on. If that's your image, you got to play it a little bit better than that. I mean, Jason Kendall just took it like a man, went down the first, and remember a couple times when we were speaking Jason Kendall. I remember in Pittsburgh when he ran. Remember when he stepped on the base and his bone popped out of his leg?
I was in the house. That was against the Brewers. I was in the stadium that day. It was like 100 degrees. It was a miserable July 4th, and I could hear him scream from the press box. It's brutal.
And he's like, remember when Conor McGregor got beat up and he had a broken leg and he goes, "Come on, I'm going to take you still." And he's got a broken leg. Kendall wanted to stay in the game with a broken leg.
Insane. His bone was sticking through his ankle. It looked like the rounded end of a baseball bat. Mark Loretto was at first base and he said he almost threw up. Looking at it. Like it was just disgusting.
Yeah.
The bad memories. All right. Hey, Wags, you're our go-to guy for all things pitching and baseball. At all levels, not just the big leagues, but Doc Hound's getting ready to fire up in just a couple of weeks. But the story yesterday in the Milwaukee area, Marquette High head baseball coach with a familiar name, friend of the show, Sal Bando Jr., resigned from his position, writing a letter to the WIAA. Apparently somebody ratted him out because the facility that he runs where they train guys and help them, the select teams and stuff, people said he was illegally coaching guys out of season, the Prospect Training Academy that he works out of in Oak Creek. Yep. And someone dropped a dime, and it's like, I was wondering about that. Who's that petty to do that? And isn't that something that they need to address in this era where, all those rules seem so quaint, but there's 7-on-7 football and there's all the different
AAU
stuff going on,
AAU summer league,
basketball, all that stuff. It seems kind of like a weird deal. So what do you think about this, Wags?
Yeah, I just saw Sonny. I didn't hear about it, but with what you say, regardless of who every single high school team does it, breaks that law to some sort of a level of practice. Guys don't just sit around and do nothing. And I don't know what it came up to. Somebody had to have been jealous because every program in the state of Wisconsin does somehow try to circumvent and beat that ideology, and that's got to be changed. That's got to be changed. We're talking about 13 months a year kids are working at baseball, and if you can't have correct coaching and correct guidance, what good does that do? What do you want to do? Throw your whole team in a gym and let them, just run around and get hurt? Mm-hmm. No, guidance, coaching is important. And if we care about the student athlete, I think something like that, especially with the WIA, has to be addressed because I would always love to have a coach there rather than not.
Well, and it's been a struggling art in baseball with the WIA after they flipped it all spring. I mean, I was a summer baseball guy, and I know it's different with the travel scene, and I understand it's different with all select programs and things like that. But Wags, when you're talking about it, you hit it on the head. Baseball maybe is the one where specialization happens even more than the other ones. And if you don't have the kind of guidance and coaching, I know you'd be humble and wouldn't take some credit for it, but it's establishments that have been set up over the last 15, 20 years that we're seeing the kind of caliber player here in Wisconsin just skyrocket that's being produced. Isn't it incredible in your eyes as to where that talent has continued to go because of the places where they can play 12 months a year?
It really is. You hit a big topic and a sore one with me because I still to this day don't understand the Wisconsin Badgers and what they do at that athletic department up in Madison. I don't understand why baseball cannot be funded and be played in Wisconsin. We have so much talent. Look at the number one picks. Look at the guys we have in the big leagues. Look at what we have here. Look at the availability with these facilities now where kids can get better and better. And it's the one sport, and don't get me wrong, every sport is great, but it's the one sport where you don't need to be 7 feet and be able to dunk a ball. You don't need to be 350 to play the offensive line. You don't have to have a cannon of an arm to be the quarterback or a wide receiver. You don't have to run a 4.2 40. Baseball players come in all shapes and sizes, and you'd think Wisconsin would be a great place for it. Don't get me wrong, a lot of high talent, high leverage prospects will go south. I mean, that's just the way it is. But the Big Ten and the way that people grow up here in Wisconsin, we love the Wisconsin Badgers. We love the Green Bay Packers, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Milwaukee Bucks. We are Wisconsin people, and I would dare to bet that a majority of those kids, when it comes down to, do I go to Alabama? Do I go to Florida to play baseball, or do I play in Wisconsin? They may go down there for a year, but they're going to realize what they miss. They're going to come back up to Wisconsin, finish out their careers in the Big Ten, and be a Badger forever.
Interesting you say this, and we won't remember, but we should talk about it on Monday, because Wildcat Mark, the Arizona Wildcats fan, hit us on the talk and text line, and he was asking, with all these baseball prospects and stuff, I'm thinking about the state of golf in the state.
Oh, fair.
And Steve Stricker and JP Hayes and Jerry Kelly and Skip Kendall were like the young guns at one point. Now they're kind of like senior tour aging out. And where's the wave of Wisconsin golfers that will carry that flag? Because golf's a big part of the sports landscape in the state too. And we're not seeing that's dried up. Whereas baseball is now a pipeline. And it just seems kind of weird that has ebbed and flowed like that. That just seems kind of strange.
Yeah, and Jerry's son, I know Jerry pretty well, and Jerry's son Cooper wanted to be a baseball player. I think he played up in Madison, up at Edgewater, or maybe he played for Davenport at Madison College. I'm not sure exactly, but Cooper wanted to, and then he ended up going out west to Colorado, and now he's swinging the stick. I mean, I remember Jerry telling me that Cooper out driving him, out playing him, and he's a damn good golfer. You know, where is all that coming from? Where isn't that? We do have it. That's a summer sport too, like you just said.
Yeah.
So we have athletes here in Wisconsin, and we should take advantage of them. Don't let them leave.
Yep, that makes sense. Paul Wagner for getting up early with us today. First time visitor in the Huddle.
Come on now.
He's our superhero of the day, brought to us by Current Electric. Call current.com. Wags, thanks for hanging out with us, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, boys. Have a good one.
All right.
Wags.
Paul Wagner.
Getting out there and controlling the turkey population. Another reason to be the Current Electric superhero of the day. Hey, man, crack of the bat, Paul Wagner joining the Huddle. That's the way that you know that it's springtime. That means storms are on their way. Make sure you're ready, because if the refrigerator goes out, it's not only the food and medicine that the electrical problems will impact. It could be that sump pump in your basement. If that stops running, big issues. Go get a free home generator assessment. Get some peace of mind. It's a free assessment at callcurrent.com. Get your spot right there. Callcurrent.com.
Closing ceremonies on tap. You're in the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Time to shut down the shop here. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew Olson, Bill Schmidt, Dave Gasper entering his final segment, filling in for Armin. You can get your life back and your sleep patterns back, Dave. But first,
I can't wait.
Time for our Wake and Bake story, brought to us by happyplacehemp.com. If you don't have any Drift Seltzer in the fridge, what are you doing? I got to pick some up for the weekend.
Thank you.
You need it.
That's
Happyplacehemp.com. Use the code Huddle, 25% off and free shipping. They ship everywhere. You can find everywhere in the state. So do it. And they ship dizzyingly fast. Love the gummies. Love the seltzer. Check out happyplacehemp.com. Billy, what's our story?
So there's a number of different things to go through here. Our friend Tyler Herrick, formerly, he's going full on into the pilot world of Cheesehead TV, put out like something kind of trying to defend the Wisco tag yesterday. He's like, Wisco and Scotty started popping up in the early 2000s with a commercial mention I found here in 2005, became popularized by local businesses, clothing and beer brands during the 2008 to 2012 range. So maybe there is a subsection of people that do. However, Sam Decker commented on that. He said, yeah, they also tried to make Roll Badge a thing from 2015 to 2018. I did what I could to put an end to that nonsense. I don't know who exactly was figuring out that Wisco should be the tag. However, maybe they enjoyed some Happy Place hemp. Their creative juices were really flowing, and they're like, wait, just think, in 5 years, everyone's calling it Wisco because of these jerseys. They might just be thinking, Drew, forward, like the tag on the back end.
Like the motto.
They said, we're just going to try to put this into the ether and start a new craze. So I'm going to enjoy the fact that maybe their creative juices were really flowing. They had a lot of Drift Seltzer, maybe a Drift gummy in there, or our favorite, the Delta 8 gummies, the 50 milligrams. And maybe that was just the case. Maybe they were sitting around having a number of different cold ones, and they're like, you know what? I think it'll work. I think it'll play.
Yep.
I don't, but I hope that was their case.
Happyplacehemp.com. Use the code Huddle for 25% off and free shipping. All right. Last thing for you. I just saw the news that they've shaved down the time between picks in the first round of the NFL draft to 8 minutes instead of 10.
What a beautiful,
all the time. That's going to shave some time off. It'll save you an hour.
It'll save us an hour. It'll save us 7 to 10 visuals of Jerry Jones too, which I think I'm even happier about.
All right. Heading into the weekend, City Connects, Bucks last home game, Brewers Nationals, Masters, and of course the Frozen Four. We're going to talk about it all coming up at 5 a.m. on Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us this week. Be sure and tell your friends that you heard about it on the Huddle. We'll see you at 5 a.m. Monday.
Peace.